On a longtime competitor all over the state of Maine, been competing with us here at the Lee USA Speedway the last couple of seasons, and Bobby is always a good shoe. Drops the 82 down, got the heat in the tire. He's on the clock. This will be rapper number one for him. Belageron pedals it out of two, down the backstretch. Hammers down into three, come exit off of turn number 4.
15.468 on the board that time by for Bobby Belageron in the number 82 machine. One more lap around here at the famed Lee USA Speedway for Bobby Belageron. He's going to cross the line this time by with a 15.471. That's going to be good for a fourth quick on the board here so far. Now we're going to be getting these guys and gals out on the racetrack here periodically. Again, 2 laps. Best of your 2 laps is what counts here tonight for $10,000 to win for your starting position here tonight. Now, we all know that there's some big news and some big things going on here tonight, so be on your toes.
All right, the Window World sponsored 81. This is Dan Winter. Winner looking to put the hammer down, comes out of turn number 2, trying to get some heat in, works his way through turns 3 and 4. He'll be on the clock this time by.
The Window World sponsored machine going down through turns 1 and 2, down the backstretch here. He also has his own business called Winter's Pit Products. Head on over to Facebook or his website, winterpitproducts.com, where if you're looking for a pit box, tire card, or anything like that, he can hook you up. As that time by, he puts a 15.192 up on the board. That's going to be good for third quick. So far, he's going to try and best that one more time here, as he's going to wrap that beautiful blue machine up off of turn number 4 here. Black and white squares in the air. 15.170. That's going to keep him locked into the third spot here so far. Now direct your attention again back up off of turn number 3. You see a black, gray, and yellow number 44. That's a driver. He's called the Mayor of Parsons Field, Maine. Big name throughout the Pro All-Stars Series. Has dabbled with the Grand Estate Pro Stock Series. He's here tonight to win $10,000 in the Richard Moody number 44 machine. Here is Trevor Sanborn.
Sanborn looking really stout in practice. Got a chance to talk to him just before qualifying, before he had some practice runs. Said the car was handling on a dime.
Sanborn with a ton of experience here throughout the super late model rigs up and down the East Coast. He's won races in Maine, New Hampshire, down south as well too, as he's going to try and wrap it up off of turn number 4 here. White flag in the air this time by. 15.061 is going to be good for second quick for Trevor Sanborn. He's going to try and best that here as he wraps it around. Turns 3 and 4 for the final time here in single car qualifying. Black and white squares in the air. 15.042 for Trevor Sanborn is going to keep him, preliminarily speaking, on the outside front row. And here comes the number 90 machine. That's going to be good for substituting at the moment. That's going to be good for Rusty Poland in the 90, putting a lap down for NASCAR super spotter Derek Nealon. That's the spotter for Kyle Busch, who is also going to be in this race here tonight. Rusty Poland, the cousin of Derek, going to be taking the green flag here this time by to put that number 90 machine in the show.
Rusty's such a great performer, subbing for his sub. And because fortunately, Mr. Nealon's got spotter duties for the Xfinity at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
That doesn't mean a thing, though, as Rusty Poland with a 14.940 in place of Derek Nealon puts that, preliminarily speaking, on the pole here. He's going to try and wrap it up off of turn number 4 here. The Derek Nealon Racing number 90 puts another lap down with a 14.944 for Rusty Poland.
Here he is, the main maniac in the 2 car. This is Nick Cusack. Nick, always a solid performer here at the New Hampshire Center of Speed. Drops the hammer down, try to get it out of turns 3 and 4. He's on the clock this time.
The driver out of Scarborough, Maine, used to mow the lawn down at the now defunct Beach Ridge Motor Speedway. He's now progressed his way up through the super late model ranks. He's got a second under his belt and a fourth place this year already. He's going to cross the line with a 15.054, which preliminarily will put him fourth on the board so far. He's going to try and best that here one more time around Lee USA Speedway.
Beautiful blue and black hot rod. Here he comes out of turn number 4. Checkers will take 14.986.
Not quite, but that's going to put him P2 on the board here in the Blue Deuce for Nick Cusack. Who's going to be able to best Rusty Poland's time of a 14.940 on the pole right now? Preliminarily is the number 90 machine, but here comes the number 8.
In the Bad Boys Trucking, number 8. Give it up for Angelo Bacito. Angelo and his crew. Andrew was in there hammering on stuff, trying to get things back in action so he can qualify. He's on the clock first time around.
That's a paint job that we like to call KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Black with a white number, looking sharp down the backstretch. Angelo Belsito or Angelini Tortellini or whatever his name may be, down the front stretch, white flag in the air. 14.981 isn't quite besting Rusty Poland just yet, but he's going to try it one more time here down the backstretch.
Hammering through turn 3, wants to get the right pedal down. No brake, he's all on the gas. 14.895.
And you know what that is, Randy?
The pole.
Quick time! Here comes the driver! Out of Las Vegas. You might have heard of him. He's the 2-time NASCAR Cup Series champion down the backstretch in the Archie St. Hilaire number 8 Keen Auto Parts Chevrolet. This is going to be good for Kyle Busch.
The Rowdy one himself, looking to put up fast time. He's getting a brand new ride. They made some adjustments in practice earlier. He was telling them all kinds of different stuff, giving the driver info. Here he comes, lap number 1.
White flag in the air this time by Kyle Busch with a 14.962. Puts him preliminarily third on the board here, but the driver out of Las Vegas is going to try and best that, wrapping it down through turns 3 and 4. Loud pedal down the front stretch, black and white squares in the air. And that's going to be good for a 14.876, which is going to be good for second on the board. So we got a couple of 8s. We got Angelo Belsito on the pole, Kyle Busch on the outside of the pole. 8s are wild on the front row right now, and here comes the driver out of Stafford, Connecticut, the 7CT.
For Corey Casagrande. Casagrande, a former champion, Stafford Motorsports Park, ready to get the 7CT into victory lane tonight here at the Lee USA Speedway. Casagrande on lap number 1. A 15.055. 15.055.
Casagrande now coming down through turns 3 and 4, trying to best his lap number 1 here. Black and white squares in the air. 14.992. Pretty quick lap for Casagrande. Doesn't quite put him on the board here for the top 5. And here comes another driver with a new race car to his stable. This is the old Corey Bubar machine from the Beach Ridge Motor Speedway days. Used to have a 42 on it. Now it has an 18. That's going to be good for the driver, Ray Dinsmore.
Ray Dinsmore got the duct tape numbers on. I think Kyle would appreciate the 18. Taking lap number 1. A new car to him, a new track to him. We give Mr. Dinsmore all the time. He said he wants to wheel and keep the car all in one piece, safe and sound, ready to roll out. Lap number 1, 15.498.
If nothing else, you always want to treat that new car smell a little right to it, or keep it in the machine as long as you can here. Dinsmore feathering it down through turns 3 and 4 here, trying to get as quick of a lap as he can. He's going to cross the line this time by with a 15.709. Can't quite best his first lap. Now, direct your attention down the front stretch here. This is going to be good for the Hancock Lumber. Number 56 Chevrolet, the driver out of Durham, Maine. That's going to be good for Evan Bollier.
Evan looking really sound and sought with the 56. Trying to get down to the low side. That's where the fast lane is, through the middle. Little squirrely coming out of turn number 4. Broke a little traction trying to get the hot pedal down. Now comes down the backstretch. Dives into turn number 3. You'll watch. Middle index coming out of turn number 4 is the hot spot. 15.194.
Bollier trying to string together some good runs as of late for that number 56 machine. He's been top 3 at Star Speedway the last handful of times he's been there. Coming up off of turn number 4, he is going to lay down a lap of 15.141, which is going to put him, preliminarily speaking, 13th on the board. Right now, here comes the driver out of Wyndham, Maine, driving the Allen Berry Race Cars Prepared number 12X. That's going to be good for Corey Bubar.
Bubar, such a great competitor. He was here the last time we raced here at the New Hampshire Center of Speed. Said great time, had a great run, but the 12X seems to be really dialing it up down the backstretch. Makes contact coming through out of turn number 4. 15.052.
So it's based off of time. Kyle's quickest.
Tries to better his time. Second time around, gets a 15.082. Now the Renfrew Motorsports sponsor, 00. This is Jimmy Renfrew Jr. Renfrew looked really sound last time competing with the Godfather Pro Stocks. Did such a great job. Runs everywhere. They can put a car and tires together. Jimmy Renfrew Jr. dialing it through the backstretch. Not even a slight lift coming out of 3 and 4. Hammer time number 1, 15.046.
So just to update you folks, too, a little bit of confusion here with timing and scoring. The number 8 that is currently on the pole is going to be good for Kyle Busch in the 8NC. Followed by the number... So again, confusion on the board here. The number 8 of Kyle Busch is on the pole here. To his outside, preliminarily speaking, is the 8 of Angelo Belcito. Inside row number 2, as of right now, is good for the 90 machine. Going to be driven by Derek Nealon later, but the one who put the lap down was Rusty Poland.
All right, we're on the track right now here at the Lee USA Speedway is Frankie Eldridge. Eldridge with a 15.288.
Eldridge, certainly no stranger to victory lane here at the Lee USA Speedway, has progressed his way up through the ranks here, through the weekly and local levels here. Going to cross the line here at a 15.197, which will put him P13 on the board. Next in line, coming out on the racetrack in that beautiful black, white, and gold number 20 machine, the driver out of Gorham, Maine. That's going to be good for Joe Pastore.
Pastore, that is a beautiful looking ride. The 20 car gets the heat in. First lap, going to come down through, take the green to take his first lap coming through this time.
The former Sport Series champion at the Beach Ridge Motor Speedway, now in the super late model ranks, coming up off of turn number 4 here, going to lay a lap down here, crossing the line with a 15.016, is going to put him, as of right now, 7th on the board, down the backstretch, going to try and break up into that 15-second bracket. He wants that beginning number to be a 14. Coming up off of turn number 4 here, black and white squares in the air, Joe Pastore. Going to lay down a 15.083, which as of right now puts him, I believe, 7th on the board still. Coming out on the racetrack here, down through turns 1 and 2 in the Peter Pettit provided machine, JBJ machine. It's the 7-3D. That's the driver out of Berwick, Maine. This is going to be good for Joey DeWiron.
Joey DeWiron. He's not only the setup man, he's also a former champ with the Granite State Pro Stock Series. Looking to get the 7-3D in the top spot. Will he have enough? Comes out of turn number 4. Here he goes, time number 1. In a 14.929.
That's a good first lap here coming down the backstretch. Joey DeWiron trying to break up into the top 3. He wants to be duking it out with the Cup driver and his spotter. Black and white squares in the air, this time by and it's going to be a 14.907, putting Joey Dwyer preliminarily fourth on the board, or third, excuse me.
All right, the one that's probably got the most turns in doesn't matter what he's racing, has a victory in the mini cups last week at the Claremont Motorsports Park. The 71, this is Skeeter Bierce.
Skeeter Bierce in that black and blue, number 71, up off of turn number 4 here, going to take the green flag. Hot lap now, going through turns 1 and 2. Very plain Jane, black and blue, number 71 down the backstretch. He's going to hit the loud pedal. Going to wrap it nicely down through turns 3 and 4. White flag in the air. He's going to lay down a lap, this time by of a 15.334, which is going to put him preliminarily P17 on the board. He wants to do a little bit better than that, get a little bit better starting spot here for what's looking like a 28-car field here later on tonight for $10,000 to win. Now on track. Coming up through turns 1 and 2. This is a driver you're definitely going to want to pay attention to. He's the one that put the boots to Tyler Reddick door-to-door last year for $10,000 to win. This is the $10,000 man, Casey Call.
Call, such a great young man. Would love to make this number 2 win over the big dogs.
He's here. He's got Kyle Busch's number ready to go. He's going to try and get it up off of turn number 4 here. White flag in the air. 15.074. Good first lap here for the 90 New Hampshire now going down the backstretch here. Currently P12 on the board. One more time around. Black and white squares in the air. Casey Call with a 15.009 will stay in that 12th position. Or 8th position, excuse me.
They don't call him Joey Pole for nothing. On the track right now is the 97 Pole, looking to make that car up to the front lines. No stranger to victory lane. Pedals the 97 out of turn number 4. On the clock for his first time around.
The driver out of Hudson, New Hampshire, bringing his talents over here to the Lee USA Speedway for, again, the Rodfather Pro Stock $10,000 to win show here tonight. Coming up off of turn number 4, white flag in the air. 14.893 for Joey Paula Warchek. That's going to put him second on the board as of right now. Can he do better than that? Can he best the 2-time Cup Series champion up off of turn number 4? Black and white squares in the air. 14.899, can't quite make it work, but right now is going to be second on the board.
On the track next to take time in the 72, the Everett's Construction sponsored 72 from Seekonk, Massachusetts. Give it up for Ryan Kuhn.
The Everett Auto Parts Chevrolet. It's going to wrap it down through turns 3 and 4 here. The driver who hones his skills on iRacing throughout the weeks, has RKM Setup Shop if you're trying to go faster virtually. Also knows how to do it here in person. Going across the line this time by with a 14.929. That's going to put him 5th quick on the board here. He's going to try and do a little bit better than that.
Kuhn looks to get a hot lap down, just a little bit more tick, drives it out of forward, 14.880.
Woo! Ryan Kuhn, second quick on the board. But as of right now, all these drivers are still chasing the driver out of Las Vegas, Kyle Busch. And right now on the backstretch, you're going to see the famed number 27 orange Ford. That's going to be good for Wayne Hellowell Jr.
We saw a show between he and Garrett Griffin. They were the show inside the show. Last time we were here at the New Hampshire Center of Speed.
Wayne Hellowell, no stranger to victory lane in any series or any racetrack. He knows how to get it done regardless of the discipline, and that shows it right there as he lays down a 14.740, which is good for quick time Wayne Hellowell Jr.
Wow, he said he was fast, and he is tonight.
And all he did there was best it even more. 14.715 for Wayne Hellowell. Now on the racetrack, the other Archie St. Hilaire prepared number 32 Corvette Parts Chevrolet or Ford is going to come down through turns 3 and 4 here. That's the number 32 of Brandon Barker.
Last year's champion here at the New Hampshire Center of Speed. Great job, Brandon Barker, such a great young man. Ran 2 different tracks last week just can't get enough. He's coming out of turn number 4 for lap time number 1.
The Go Fast Motorsports number 32 is piloted by your 2022 Lee USA Speedway Rodfather Pro Stock Champion. He lays down a 14.944 that first time by. He's going to try and do a little bit better than that. He needs a couple tenths here up off of turn number 4. And he can't quite make it stick as he lays down a 15.042.
The Hudson, New Hampshire Hot Shoe in the 12G, last feature winner here the last time we ran at the New Hampshire Center of Speed. Give it up for Derek Griffith.
DG12 himself, the New Hampshire native, keeping his talents right here in New Hampshire, in the Granite State. He's coming up off of turn number 2. He's got some NASCAR experience under his belt at this point. He's coming here tonight to win $10,000 as he lays down his first lap of a 14.940. That's going to put him, preliminarily speaking, 8th on the board right now, but he doesn't want to start in 8th. He wants to be up with Kyle Busch and Derek Nealon. Up off of turn number 4 here, Derek Griffith with a 14.804 is going to put him second quick on the board, Derek Griffith.
All right, here he is. It is the 17-man for Level Construction sponsored 17 mass for Eddie McDonald.
The outlaw himself in that red and white number 17 Massachusetts. Another former talent throughout the NASCAR ranks early on in his career, now finds his home in the super late model ranks throughout the New England region. Eddie McDonald coming down the backstretch here. He, again, just like everybody else, wants to be mixing it up with your race leaders. He's going to lay down his first lap, this time by of a 14.917. Eddie McDonald, that's going to put him 8th on the board this time. He wants to do just a little bit better than that.
Got a lot of history. Dad owned the track for many years. He started his career selling popcorn in a 14.802.
Eddie McDonald, with that time, is going to be good for second quick on the board. Now on the raceway here is going to be the Quinn Installations number 94, Norm's Used Card Ford Mustang, the driver out of Scarborough, Maine, the driver who won here already this year. This is going to be good for Garrett Hall.
Hall, a great competitor, that 94, such a sharp black, silver numbered and white, red. What a paint scheme. The 94 drops the hammer coming out of turn number 4. Lap number 1, ready to go. Down the backstretch. Here he comes. That was a quick time that he had on his preliminary run. Here he comes for time number 1. A 14.970.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got a little bit of a twist here coming up for you. We have the track owner and president right here at the flag stand. That's going to be good for Mr. Ben Basowski. What we're going to do here is we have a young fan that we have picked out of the stands. What's your name, buddy?
Andrew.
Andrew here is going to put his hand in this tin can, and we're going to shuffle up anywhere between the top 10. All right, so we could be shuffling 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We don't know until Andrew sticks his hand in this can. You ready, Andrew? And what's that number say?
9.
So we are going to invert the top 9 from single car qualifying. Who does that put on the pole, Randy Wheelock?
That's going to make for some interesting time. So inversion comes out. Inverts from position number 9. Thank you, folks, for joining us here at the New Hampshire Center of Speed. Ready to go for a hot night of racing and a lot of superstars, including Kyle Busch, competing with our Rodfather Pro Stocks tonight.
So with the 9 inversion, that's going to put the driver out of Berwick, Maine, the 73D, Joey DeIron, on the pole tonight for your Rodfather Pro Stock $10,000 to win show, followed by Angelo Belcito to his outside. All right, folks, what you see out on the racetrack here now is your Nastra late models. All right, this is going to be a touring series that comes throughout the ranks of New Hampshire's local short tracks. What we're seeing right now, 8 cars on the racetrack for 9 laps. This is going to be group qualifying for your Nastra late models. So what you're seeing right now, too, green flag is out on the racetrack right now. You've got
57 of Justin Beecher coming off back-to-back wins at the Claremont Motorsports Park and at the Hudson International Speedway last Sunday.
In the number 01, you got William Hellowell. In the 7 machine, you've got Donald Belisle. The number 81 is going to be good for
Andrew Baruso out of Claremont Motorsports Park field. The 33 is Coach Clement, Billy Clement Jr., normally a competitor at the Hudson International. And last season's champion here in the late model division in the 08, that is Milton Duran.
Couple laps in the books here so far. Fast time right now is going to be Austin Erickson in the number 22. Again, we're only going to be doing
37 also in there, and the 83 of Hayden Grenier. Grenier, such a great young man, such a great talent.
And again, folks, we're only putting 8 laps up on the board here. We're halfway down, halfway to go this time by for group qualifying for qualifying session number 1 of your Nastra late models. As of right now, Austin Erickson hanging on the pole with a 17.208. Milton Duran to his outside would be the lineup. Next would be Andrew Brousseau and Hayden Grenier.
Brousseau coming off a victory at the Claremont Motorsports Park. This is a battle of the bell race for the NHSTRA late models. Austin Erickson currently is your fastest time. Milton Duran, former champ, knows how to get around here. And Beecher is pulled off. Baruso, Grenier, Justin Beecher, who just you saw hit the pit. Wade Jelinas, great to see him back. He's now taking pit road area.
All sorts of fast race cars here in the pit area for your Nastra late model division. 2 to go this time by as the 81 of Andrew Brousseau crosses the line. Again, as of right now, your current pole sitter is going to be Austin Erickson, followed by Milton Duran. We're going to try and go one more lap in to see if anybody can best the 22 machine of Austin Erickson, as we are going to have one more car cross the line here.
Erickson is going to remain on the top. It looks like at this point, Milton Duran, Andrew Baruso, Hayden Grenier, Justin Beecher, Wade Jelinas will round out the field. Checkered is out. Going to bring the next segment of Nastra late models to the Lee USA Speedway. Want to take an opportunity to thank those viewing at home on Nastra Vision. Charlie Sanborn and I are ready to go. We've been a little taunt about getting to the track. Weatherman just keeps playing hooky with us.
Yeah, it's. I think the last thing we might need tonight is any sort of rain, because I think that we've about flooded out the entirety of New England at this point. So, beautiful blue skies here tonight at New Hampshire Center of Speed, Lee USA Speedway. Coming out on the racetrack right now is going to be group qualifying session number 2 for your original Wheelman late models.
If you got an opportunity and you have a chance, right behind the stands where the tower is here is the original Wheelman, the sponsor of this division here at the Lee USA Speedway, downtown Kevin Brown.
And if you're looking for not only original designs, but some original memorabilia and quite quite nice merchandise here. Right, like Randy was saying, behind the front strut stands here, Original Wheelman, www.originalwheelman.com for all your latest designs for racing t-shirts, hats, all sorts of cool stuff over there. Make sure you head on over to his tent there and get some sweet merch.
Hey, just say hi. Kevin is one of the co-hosts of the Inside NHSTRA Monday nights on 7 o'clock every Monday night to recap racing at its finest in the NHSTRA.
An NHSTRA, Randy, you know what that is? That's the New Hampshire Short Track Association, which essentially what that is we are bringing identical rules packages to the likes of Lee USA Speedway, Hudson Speedway, Monadnock, and Claremont, where you're going to be able to build a race car and bring it to any one of those 4 tracks and not have to worry about changing any sort of thing or rules for that particular race car.
Early out front is the 02. That is modified driver and late model driver for Jeff Rollins in the 33 Vermont. He is in the WeBuyHomes.com 33 for Matt Sunhalter.
Right now, we got a new quick time on the board. Nick Maniitis in the 63 machine. Best Austin Erickson's time. Erickson, who laid down a 17.2, now is going to be bested by Maniitis with a 17.186, followed by Jeff Rollins now busting up into the top 2.
Rollins, such a great competitor. He won a race already this season at the Monadnock Speedway in the fog.
Yes, he certainly did do that. And again, a ton of talent here throughout your NASHRA Original Wheelman late model division. All sorts of beautiful race cars here where if you're not looking to spend a bajillion dollars on a late model or a pro stock, a traditional late model, I should say, or a super late model, head on over to this division here. The Original Wheelman late models here, more or less within the street stocks rule packages throughout the rest of the United States here. Puts on a ton of good shows and a ton of good racing as we're halfway down, halfway to go this time by.
And if you'd like to join us, it looks like John Vinyl's got the 88 for sale. So if you've had the itch, want to strap in, get it ready to go, that car is available. The 45 of Oscar Leclerc. We affectionately call him the Grouch.
We got some cars pulling off the racetrack here, which is going to open up some more room for the guys remaining on the racetrack here. Nick Maniitis remains on the pole here so far with a 17.084. Jeff Rollins hanging on that second spot. Austin Erickson from group number 1 remains in the 3rd position here in his blue number 22 machine, as we're only going to have a couple laps left here for your second group qualifying session.
Also, we have a second 79 out there. That is Patrick Tangway, that blue and yellow looking hot rod. We're under caution, and we've got problems on the backstretch with the 45 of Leclerc. Smoke rolling out from under the hood. That is never good, Joe.
No, I mean, sometimes smoke is cool if you're doing a burnout, if you've won, or something along those lines. But typically when it's coming out of the hood, you're having a bad day. Looks as though that's happening for the 45 machine there, unfortunately, of Oscar Leclerc Jr., who currently right now is P18 on the board. After 2 groups of qualifying have hit the racetrack here for your Original Wheelman late models. So we're going to try and get that red number 45 machine off the racetrack here. And Randy, we got a ton of good races coming up here for these fans who have spent a ton of good money and a ton of good time here at Lee USA Speedway to share the evening with us. And it is a beautiful evening, and we're not scared of any rain here, right, folks?
Nobody's afraid of any rain. That's gone. That's gone. It's over. We're ready to go. The Venturi maybe has just spun us away.
Yeah, it's as Darrell Waltrip says, we got the vortex going now. We're scaring away all the rain. So beautiful blue skies here. Shout out Ben Basowski, John Espernette, the new management team here at Lee USA Speedway. For a long time, Lee had a stigma, which is now completely erased, and we have a beautiful facility here at the New Hampshire High Banks Lee USA Speedway. So round of applause for that entire group here for putting on a collective, just heck of a program here, really, that I am honestly just really happy to be a part of here. And like I said, we're on top here for an absolute barn burner of an event at Lee USA Speedway. We've got, folks, a two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion in the pit area right now, who honestly wasn't even fast enough to get on pole here from our locals. So we're going to have a heck of a show to see Kyle Busch coming up through the field here. We got his NASCAR Cup Series spotter, Derek Nealon, coming in from the big track here at Loudon. who's got some Xfinity duties to get paid from for Mr. Childress. So all sorts of cool things here on tap tonight, folks. So again, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for coming out here and supporting the New Hampshire Center of Speed.
And if you have an opportunity, we have our merchandise. Take home a souvenir. It's underneath the Daytona grandstands. And if you have a moment, you want to take part, and you're of age, the Checkered Flag Pub over in turn number 3 will be glad to serve you an adult beverage. Please stay hydrated while you're here. Drink a lot of water. It is still very humid. It's I don't know about you, Charlie, but this is not my weather.
Well, you know, I think I'm sweating in places I didn't realize I could sweat from, but that's all right. I'd rather be sweating than at home in the rain. So really excited to be here and a part of this incredible evening here. Again, folks, $10,000 on the line for your Rodfather Pro Stocks later on this evening. So we have an incredible program coming to you. Now, thank you for each and every one of you for coming in here in person. But while you have a moment, maybe head on over to your phone, look up Nastra Vision while you get a chance. That's NHSTRAvision.com. Get yourself a membership right now where you can get all access not merchandise, but content from Lee USA Speedway, Hudson Speedway, Claremont Speedway, and Monadnock, where you get, again, all access to all of those things, and also all Nastra sanctioned events as well, too. So not too long ago, I was watching an MRS race at Seekonk that put on one heck of a show there, again, right on NastraVision.com.
And it was great to hear John Spence back on the mic at the Seekonk. They affectionately call it the Cement Palace.
That is a cool little place there, Seekonk, Massachusetts. But again, directing our focus back here tonight to Lee USA Speedway. We're getting the 45 machine of Oscar Leclerc back into the pit area. But we've got on tap for you tonight, folks, the O'Reilly Auto Parts 6-shooters, your Black Flag Podcast Ridge Runners, and, of course, your Rodfather Pro Stock $10,000 to win show, Randy.
And original wheelman late models. We just saw group qualifying, and they're going to be ready for action. The features tonight are, it'll be a 15-lap Ridge Runner feature, a 125-lap event for our Rodfather Pro Stocks. 50 laps is the distance for the Nastra Battle of the Belt race number 1. Race number 1, unfortunately, has not taken place. It was to take place at the Hudson International Speedway back in June of this year, and unfortunately, Mother Nature won that one.
Yeah, the rain has not been a huge fan of motorsports this year, it seems, especially in our New England area here. We've been rained out at pretty much every racetrack, it seems, for every big event. So excited to kick off the Battle of the Belt there for the original wheelman late models. Again, that's a pretty cool deal that's put on by Nastra, where these drivers are quite literally fighting for contention to bring home a belt. It is a championship belt to the likes of what you would see on WWE, UFC, things of that nature. An incredibly unique and prestigious trophy here already just in its couple of years of existence. So again, shout out Ben Basowski and team, the entire Nastra crew for putting on something pretty unique, honestly, for these drivers to be chasing after.
Also, we'll be having the Quest for the Cup. If you haven't ever seen it, in October, Modifieds will grace the presence here at the New Hampshire Center of Speed, and that's where we'll crown our Quest for the Cup winner in the NHSTRA Modified.
Couple other things to put on your radar here, folks, here at Lee USA Speedway. Schedule here coming up August 5th. We're going to have the Ollie Silva Midsummer Classic, where you're going to have the Super Modifieds Pro Stocks, Nell Car Legends, and Bandoleros, plus some late model action as well, too. Followed by New Hampshire Muscle Club Car Show, August 19th, and then we're going to follow into some NASCAR weekly racing here throughout September and October as well, too, where you're going to see the NASCAR weekly series of the Pro All-Stars, or the past Super Late Models in action here on September 10th, with in addition to their past modifieds and some pure stock action as well, too. And always, always, always make sure on your calendar you have the 3 days set aside here to come to Russ Conway's Oktoberfest, where we always have a slew of racing going on for 3 days worth of action there. Nastra Pure Stock 6-shooter, Seekonk Pure Stocks, our Black Flag Podcast, Ridge Runners, Nell Car Legend Cars, and Bandoleros here yet again.
Yeah, and then we also capped that in Oktoberfest with NEMA Lights, the Pro 4 Modifieds. The New England Dwarf Cars will be in the house that time on Saturday during Oktoberfest. The Seacon Pure Stocks come back, the National late models, and then the Outlaw late models will also be in the house. We'll cap that off with October 1st, and we'll run everything that we've got against us on October 1st. That's Sunday. And if you've never been to Oktoberfest, folks, you can't miss it. Russ Conway's Oktoberfest here at the New Hampshire Center of Speed. And by the time I'm done, Charlie, I can tell you, I have no voice left.
No, you certainly don't. It's 3 days of nonstop action-packed racing. You might as well bring your camper here, put it in the parking lot. Call Lee USA Speedway your home for 3 nights here, where, again, it's just an incredible time to get away and just pack your weekend full of racing. Now, folks, we're going to have a little bit of downtime here for just a moment, so get up, stretch your legs, grab a hot dog, hamburger, whatever it is that tickles your fancy, get some beverages in you. Keep hydrated, like Randy said earlier. It is a hot one here today. Sit back, relax, and we'll be back with you with some action here momentarily. Now, folks, if you have any questions about what's going on right now during our quick intermission, the driver who spots for Kyle Busch on Sundays in the NASCAR Cup Series, he's also got the 21 machine on Saturdays. He made it from the big track, folks. Round of applause for Derek Nealand in the 90 machine, putting some hot laps down.
Question is, Charlie, can he better Ben's time? Is that possible?
You know that. I don't know. Rusty Poland's a pretty good wheelman with a ton of super late model experience. Derek Nealand, another good hot shoe there in the 90 machine. This is a Rusty Poland prepared race car from a shop that they share in Derek's new house there. So Derek, again, getting his feet wet a little bit here tonight, just literally hopping off a car here on his way back from the big track here. So he's going to get his mind and bearings right and make sure that he's comfortable in that 90 machine so that when he takes the green flag later on here tonight, he has his eyes set on $10,000 to bring back home with him. One more time around here for NASCAR Super Spotter Derek Nealand in the 90 machine. Again, just getting his bearings correct, getting used to the Lee USA Speedway here. He hasn't been here since this time last year, where he brought Tyler Reddick with him from the big track here. So again, folks, round of applause for Derek Nealand making the trek back from the big track. He's going to pull it off into the pit area. And again, folks, get up, stretch your legs, grab a hot dog, hamburger, whatever it is that you like, and we'll be back with you in just a moment. Well, folks, that was a pretty quick intermission. Sorry to catch you off guard there. What you see on the racetrack right now are your Black Flag Podcast Ridge Runners, likened to the Mad Bomber Division priorly raced at the Beach Ridge Motor Speedway. On the pole for this one, you got the number 76. That's going to be good.
for Heath DeButts. Heath DeButts coming off a victory at the Hudson International Speedway. To his outside, the 51 of Mike Doobie out of Nashua. Carl Gagnon in the science experiment number 2.
To his outside in the number 37Z, that's going to be good for Zachary Frazier. Inside row number 3, that's going to be the 78 of Corey Downs. To his outside in row number 3 in the number 63 out of Buxton, Maine, that's going to be good for Brian Caswell. Green flag is out and we are racing.
Butts and Doobie right on the heat, but Doobie's got the outside line. Comes out of the middle into turn number 2, looking to take the lead on the backstretch. Coming to 99 of Carl Gagnon.
Throughout the rest of the field here, we got a comer from the Oxford Plains Speedway in the number 44, Spencer Barth. The 37J is good for Joe Frazier. The 59 is good for Callie Osborne. Your 2022 Black Flag Podcast Ridge Runner champion is David Cameron in the 2 machine, followed by Justin Gayu in the 43.
Last season, we saw David Cameron have a bounty put on his head. Said if you can start dead last and win, you will get $200 bills.
And you know what he did, folks?
He did it.
Just that. He started dead last, passed every single racetrack on the property to take home the extra cash to win the Black Flag Podcast Ridge Runner event. As right now, he's high side hustling that blue deuce. Dave Cameron on the move on the high side.
And here's your battle for second. Right now, it's DeButts, your leader. Carl Gagnon into second spot. The 63 of Brian Caswell. But Doobie and Frazier in the 37 are doing a little hold-up on the Cameron deuce.
Keep an eye out on that 63 machine. Brian Caswell not afraid to use that front bumper as he's now up into the top 3, all over the rear bumper of the number 99H of Carl Gagnon.
Holy moly, Charlie, the 2 of Dave Cameron locked a bumper to a fender of the Doobie 51. But look at him pedal that 2 on the outside, looking for the 4th spot.
Up on the outside, Dave Cameron is high side hustling the blue deuce. The Lloyd's Auto Parts Chevrolet coming down the backstretch here. The only Malibu in the field here tonight. That 2 machine wrapping the turns 3 and 4 beautifully as he wants to get up into the top 3.
DeButts still is your leader. Gagnon in second. And Caswell now starts to turn the wick up. All over the back bumper of the 99 is the 63. But here comes the dangerous one in Dave Cameron.
Dave Cameron on seek and destroy mode right now, looking to the inside of the 63 of Brian Caswell. Here comes Dave Cameron, your 2022 champion.
Holy moly, you could throw a blanket over 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and battle ensues between Frazier and Doobie, the 37 and the 51 for the 5th spot. DeButts still has the lead. We're just completed lap number 8. Carl Gagnon trying to get a stay steady in the line, but now Caswell sees the window of opportunity. Open up, door gets slammed closed.
Starting to stack up here in the back half of our top 3. The 2 car of Dave Cameron trying to make the top side work here one more time as he wants to break up into the top 3. 9 laps in the books, 11 to go for your 20 lap show here as we are halfway down, halfway to go this time by.
Such a great job. Heath DeButts got a window full of everybody. Coming from the back is Dave Cameron. Not sure he's going to have enough laps, but we've got 10 more to go.
Halfway down, halfway to go that last time by now. Dave Cameron fires the blue deuce to the bottom side. The 63 of Brian Caswell now has his hands full of a couple. Now between he and himself, a couple of Beach Ridge Motor Speedway champions now there, duking it out for the 3rd spot down the backstretch.
Ryan Caswell making the 63 wide and handsome on the outside. Going to have to be, they are door handle to door handle this time. And advantage goes to Cameron at the strike.
8 wheels is always better than 4 there. Dave Cameron making it work on the bottom side. Almost gets hooked on the backstretch there by Caswell as he now has his hands full of the 51 of Mike Doobie.
Mike Doobie's found something that was off on the 51, but now heavy competition for Caswell for the 4th spot. But Dave Cameron's going to start the stalking of the 99 of Gagnon, hoping that he and DeButts will have something less than what takes place. Sideways Cameron is. coming out of 4.
Dave Cameron showing the bottom side there to Caswell. Caswell going to try and take advantage in the 63 machine there, as now the top 5 are under a blanket down the backstretch. Heath DeButts doing everything he can here with 5 laps to go this time by, holding off the number 99 end of Carl Gagnon. But here comes Dave Cameron and Brian Caswell in the 2 and 63 machines.
Gagnon all over the bumper of DeButts, but he's going to have Cameron looking right on the back bumper. Ducks it high to the outside. Cameron's been able to make it stick all night to the top.
Up on the outside, here comes Dave Cameron in the 2 car, making the high side work to the outside of Carl Gagnon. He is now officially up into the 2nd place, as we're going to be coming up here on just a handful of laps left for your Black Flag Podcast, Ridge Runners, and Cameron wants more. To the outside of your race leader, Heath DeButts. DeButts in the 76, getting a little sideways through turns 3 and 4. He's not going to be able to hold off Cameron.
And here comes Brian Caswell back, looking to challenge Gagnon but the top spot goes to Dave Cameron.
Popsicle sticks in the air this time by for the first time tonight. Dave Cameron out of Alfred, getting a little bit sideways up off of turn number 4 here. He's going to rifle it down in turns 1 and 2, and he wants to bring home the checkered flag.
99 of Carl Gagnon gets the save of the night. Sideways coming out of turn number 4, that last lap. Here we go. White flag's going to wave.
White flag in the air. The bed sheet gets waved this time by for the driver from Alfred, Maine. Also, your current and reigning 2022 Black Flag Podcast Ridge Runner champion has just one more set of corners to navigate. Up off of turn number 4, black and white squares in the air. Dave Cameron is your Black Flag Podcast Ridge Runner winner.
What a great job by Dave Cameron. Heath DeButts, Carl Gagnon will finish in the 3rd spot. Brian Caswell. Then the 43 of Justin Galu, Mike Doobie, Zach Frazier, Joe Frazier, Spencer Barth, Kaylee Osborne, along with Corey Downs will round out your field. Charlie Sanborn will head trackside to talk to our top 3. Dave Cameron, no stranger to victory lane with the Black Flag Podcast Ridge Runners. Give him a great round of applause, folks. Dave Cameron is your winner, headed to victory lane, and Charlie Sanborn.
All right, folks, welcome back down here to the front stretch, and to all of you over on National Vision. What an incredible show we just saw here from your Black Flag Podcast Ridge Runners. Round of applause for the show that they just put on for 20 laps, as we're going to direct our attention over to here. The driver who is trying to hold off some of the up-and-coming guys from the back of the pack here. You probably can't hear from the stands here, but we got some sort of certainly an overheating issue or something going on. Carl, come on around here. Our 3rd place driver, the number 99, Carl Gagnon, folks.
Thanks. It was a good run. Heath did a great job. Dave came from the back of the pack. How can you top that?
It was certainly a heck of a show that you guys all just put on there, so thank you for doing that. What are your thoughts of this event here that we have tonight? Top 3, not bad.
No, hey, we can't complain. I'm telling you, we're happy to be here. We're thankful for all the fans that come out to watch us, giving us an opportunity, and we had a good run. We're pretty happy with it.
And your car is not empty by any means, so who do you have to thank here?
We have all our sponsors. We have the Pine Street Eatery, Turncycle Solutions, Forcier Contracting, ARS Automotive, my crew, my wife, who's given me the opportunity to do this again. Again, the crew works hard. I want to thank Black Flag Podcast for their division support, and Lee Speedway staff for giving us a great place to race, and all the fans for coming out and cheering us on.
That's your 3rd place driver, folks, Carl Gagnon. Round of applause for that driver. Now, going to come up into the top 2 here. This close, man. This close. You had a heck of a run going on up front there. This beautiful race car. How was that for you, man?
It was good. It ran good all race. I thought I could hold him off at the end there, but that's all right. Like one good away. I'd like to thank Eagle Air Solutions and NRG Fuels. Couldn't have done this without them. The Fraser family, Andrew, my girlfriend Sam. They are here making it possible for me to be here every week. So, and thank you all you fans for coming out today. That's awesome. Good to see a packed house.
Now, Heath, you were this close, right? This close. What more did you need to hold off Dave Cameron there at the end?
Just a little bit more grip at the end. Started getting wicked loose.
All right, fair enough. Now, that's your second place driver, Heath the Butts, folks. Now, we're going to go over to victory lane here. The driver out of Alfred, Maine, your 2022 and reigning Black Flag Podcast Series champion, my good buddy. We call him Pork here at the shop. This is going to be your race winner, Dave Cameron. How goes it, pal?
Oh, this is not fat guy friendly weather, so I'm a little bit wore out. But that was a lot of fun. It was a pretty good race. A little bumping and banging in, not too bad. Got to give a big shout out to my girlfriend and my parents sitting up there, and all my crew over there, the folks from the graphics coop. My crew chief over here, Trev, being there all the time, helping me as much as he possibly can. Breck helps out as much as he possibly can. I really appreciate all their help. Lloyd's Auto Sales, On the Level Construction, Derek Nealon Racing, the night that Derek's actually here. So, West Cal Lobsters, A1 Septic Service, the fine folks at the graphics coop that are standing right there. Webster Service Center. I'm forgetting a few of them. Tom Huff Racing Engines, Alex Sayre Excavation. I got to thank them all. Big shout out to Ben and his entire staff and John Espernette for putting on a great show here today and giving us an awesome place to race. This is awesome.
An awesome show that was, again, at an awesome place to race. That's your Black Flag Podcast Ridge Runner winner here tonight on the $10,000 to win show. Round of applause for the driver out of Alfred, Maine, Dave Cameron. Back up to you, Randy.
You got it, Charlie. Great job, victory lane. Congrats to all three. Dave Cameron, the unstoppable in the Black Flag Podcast Ridge Runners here at your New Hampshire Center of Speed. Thank you all for coming again. We'd love to have you here. This is the weekend of weekends in NASCAR world. We have on tap still our Pro Stock 125. Late models for 50 laps. Battle for the belt. And we'll end our night with the O'Reilly Auto Parts 6 shooters for a 25-lap feature event. Give this handsome devil a wave. This is Mike Miata, longtime competitor, Hall of Famer out of this great state of Maine. Couldn't ask for any better, but he's your Grand Marshal.
Again, folks, in that golf cart right there represents, I believe, 13 track championships at the now defunct Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. A legend in his own right, a Hall of Famer. Round of applause to Mike Mayetta Sr. out there on the front stretch there. That is your Grand Marshal for tonight, folks, as we're going to go down there and have a word with Mike.
And the golf cart happens to be piloted by the man who brought Kyle Busch here, and that is Archie St. Hilaire. Give him a great round of applause, too. Charlie's going to head trackside to talk with these two gents, both legends in their own time. And we can't thank enough for what they have done for our sport. Big round of applause, folks. A legend, Mike Miata, just a great champion of champions. And his partner in crime tonight, Archie St. Hilaire.
All right, folks. Sorry about that. Some technical difficulties up here. Didn't mean to leave you in the dark there for a minute. Again, Mike Maeda Sr., our Grand Marshal here for tonight for your Rodfather Pro Stock $10,000 to win show. Now, something special going on here tonight for sure. We've mentioned it time and time again, but you see that big camper out in the pit area there up by the bar. You know, we've got a two-time Cup Series champion here in the house, ready to bring it down and take $10,000 here from the locals, Randy.
Yeah, no longer driving the M&M car. Now works the wheel for the famous Richard Childress Racing Stable. Already got a victory this season. He's looking to bring multiple championships back to that team in the 8 car. Kyle Busch in the house.
Not only is he a two-time Cup Series champion, he is at the time a nationwide series champion as well, which is now the Xfinity Series. A former Oxford 250 champion as well in his own right. Not much in his repertoire or on his resume that he has not pulled off until today, folks. We added a new one to that list. He had not even seen this place until he strolled in here from the big track. Kyle Busch laying down a pretty good time there in single car qualifying early on. So certainly going to be one to watch out there in the RG St. Hilaire prepared number 8 machine. As we're waiting for some pro stocks to get back into the lineup area there to get ready for our 28 car main event here at New Hampshire Center of Speed. But we'd like to take a moment here and thank each and every one of you yet again for coming out here on what was a pretty iffy day weather-wise, but seemingly packed house here tonight. So thank you again to each and every single one of you for coming out here, spending your hard-earned time and money to participate in this special event with us. If you haven't already, head on over to the original Wheelman tent, get yourself a hat, a T-shirt, whatever it is you may like. And again, get some hot dogs, hamburgers, whatever it tickles your fancy.
And if you have a moment, stop into the Checkered Flag Pub. If you're so inclined, you want an adult beverage, they would be glad to supply you one. We have pizza and so on right underneath the Daytona stands. And is everybody having a good time?
Oh, come on, you can do better than that. You can do better than that. We want to hear you from the booth over here. Are you having a good time? Not bad, not bad. I like the crowd here, folks. Quick message from the tower here to the pit area. 6 shooters to your vehicles. Get ready to race, folks. 6 shooters to your vehicles. Get ready to race. Now, Randy, we've both, between the two of us, spent a lot of time at a lot of racetracks. We're seasoned veterans, if you will. We've seen the good, we've seen the bad, we've seen the ugly. Lee USA Speedway. Let's talk about the turnaround that we have seen from this new management here. Ben Basowski, John Esprinette, and the entire Nashra team here. Not only are they coming out here with a perfectly manicured lawn, we got a beautiful facility to bring to you folks here. We got a packed bar over there up off of turn number 3. I'm excited for tonight, Randy. This is an incredible show, and what a turnaround that we've seen here at Lee USA.
Yeah, and it's an awesome place. I've been coming here, and folks, I had never seen this place until 4 years ago. I had never set foot here. What a beautiful facility. The Wren family started it, and Ben Brzezowski's going to carry it on. He, John Esprinette, and the staff here at Lee USA Speedway are constantly, they call him affectionately Facebook list Jeff, and Jeff loves this place with such a passion, and it shows. It shows.
I mean, if you're getting down to the nitty-gritty of where the lawn looks as good as it does, I mean, what are we even talking about now? This is a NASCAR-grade facility, if you will. It is a NASCAR-sanctioned track. We do have the Advanced Auto Part Weekly Series coming here each and every week throughout the regular season here. Your Rodfather Pro Stocks, Black Flag Podcast, Ridge Runners, your O'Reilly Auto Parts 6 shooters, all sorts of good things here for the weekly shows at Lee USA Speedway. A packed house again here tonight, a packed parking lot. We're damn near parking people out in the street, Randy. It's incredible to see. I haven't seen the likes of this here at Lee USA Speedway in quite some time.
I'd like to see them parked up and down both sides of 125 myself. The other person that I'd want to take a special time to thank, and he's in the crowd, the very young Red McDonald. He and his wife, Judy, kept this facility going for so many years and then transitioned to the Wren family, now to the Brzezowski era. This is family, Cherry. This is all about the family of racers.
Not only is racing in and of itself a family atmosphere. I mean, we've seen a ton of kids here throughout the pit area. I've seen some other NASCAR super spotters here walking up into the grandstands. I see Uncle Tony himself finding a spot here. No, it's an incredible atmosphere that we have. Incredible to see the hard work and efforts paying off here again from Ben Basowski. So shout out to that entire team there. But it's not only Lee, folks. I mean, we're talking about a NASTRA family. And NASTRA, again, New Hampshire Short Track Association, which basically presents a rules package that does not differ or change between racetracks. We're talking Lee USA Speedway, Hudson Speedway, Claremont Speedway, Monadnock Speedway, sharing a rules package to help provide some consistency to a lot of these racers who just want to build a race car and take it to multiple different places. NASTRA putting on incredible shows. And again, over at NASTRA Vision, all of you online right now, thank you to each and every one of you for buying a membership here and helping support this vision that is being put into place here. And it's one thing to talk about it; it's another thing to do it. And this entire team has done an incredible job putting these things into place here and making sure that we can provide a quality product back to you. I mean, single car qualifying alone, that was exciting. Single car qualifying is never exciting, and that was incredible to watch earlier.
It's nice. It's almost electric, and that's what you feel. It's interesting to see that what transpires at all these NASTRA tracks, the New Hampshire Short Track Racing Association, it is a rule package where these cars can go to every track. They may have to change some gearing. They may have to change some different stuff within the car, but they basically run the same rules package. And whether you're here at the New Hampshire Center of Speed or at the Hudson International Speedway, you've got diamonds in the rough. Also, you've got the Monadnock Speedway and the Claremont Motorsports Park. Great job by Brian Martin, a brand new general manager there. They're doing a great job putting that track together and also getting to watch his son, Colton Martin, be the closer.
Just adding to the family atmosphere for sure. And it doesn't stop at the big tracks here or out local short tracks like we're talking about. I see a lot of families out there with young kids, young babies. There's plenty of places to start honing your skills from the likes of LST Motorsports Park out in Richmond. You've got Bartlett Bridge Speedway in Waterboro, Maine. Again, LST Motorsports Park up in Richmond, Maine, too. Plenty of go-kart facilities to help get your youngsters involved in motorsports. I mean, it's a game of numbers, and that quite frankly has never changed throughout motorsports existence. We simply cannot do it without car counts here, and that shows tonight. We have a 28-car super late model or pro stock feature event coming up here for you for $10,000 to win 125 laps on tap here for you tonight. But that wouldn't happen if people weren't getting interested in it. So bring your kids to the racetrack, get them in a go-kart, whatever it may be. There are rental opportunities as well too, especially over at the LST Motorsports Park up in Richmond, Maine. Steve Perry has an incredible facility up there, putting on some pretty good rental opportunities as well too. So it's not like you're going out and getting your kid $1,000 worth of hockey pads and they don't like it and you're stuck with the hockey pads. See if they like it. Go out, rent a go-kart for these youngsters here and help them create and be a part of the next generation of local superstars. I myself and Bradley, another third of the Black Flag podcast, the other third, Bobby Timmons, we're pretty heavily involved over at Bartlett Bridge Raceway in Waterboro, Maine, where, again, we call them the next generation of local superstars. But the three of us, the Black Flag podcast, as you heard tonight, the Black Flag podcast, Ridge Runners, we try to help promote that and get those things on the map so that these youngsters can eventually get into a full-size car and put on a show for you, hopefully for $10,000 to win alongside Kyle Busch.
Yeah, and it's awesome to see what's going on at some of the other NASTRA tracks as well, Charlie, as you speak. Hudson International Speedway has the Hudson Heroes. They were in competition last Sunday at the Hudson International Speedway. And who, behold, is involved in that but Mike Marshall. And if you don't know anything about MLM Diagnostic Services, he is a huge supporter and backbone of a lot of racing here in New England.
I believe you're at one point we were talking about the MLM Diagnostic Pure Stocks that also run here at the Lee USA Speedway. So Certainly Mike Marshall, an incredible proponent to that and helping sustain, again, this next generation of local superstars. You're only as good as your feeder system here, and that is how it works here at the short track level. If you're looking to get into something here, I mean, Black Flag Podcast, Ridge Runner, or what we're about to see here, or O'Reilly Auto Parts 6-shooters, they're relatively inexpensive to build, folks. You're talking maybe a couple $1,000s. You go and find a car out of a field or a junkyard somewhere, you throw a cage in it, and we're ready to go racing. And that shows here for the talent that we're going to have here in the 6-shooter class as well too. On the pole, you're going to see the 17 Tristan Bodwell. She's still in high school, folks. So certainly one to go out there and put a show out for the folks. And you can certainly be one of them as well too. Go out, build a race car, come out and have a time with us.
And if you get bored and you want to come to a Young Guns class, we have that at the Monadnock Speedway in Winchester, currently being thankfully now water-free after this last round of rain. But here come your O'Reilly Auto Parts 6-shooters.
Your second feature event here on the night. Again, like Randy was just saying, your O'Reilly Auto Parts 6-shooters. We're going to rumble them up off of turn number 4 here. This is an entry-level division, front-wheel drive, 6-cylinder cars that very much can get your feet wet or get your foot in the door of the auto racing world. And here they come, folks, your O'Reilly Auto Parts 6-shooters.
In the 17, as Charlie told you before, that is Sanford, Maine's Tristan Bodwell.
Next in line behind her is going to be the number 18 machine out of Newmarket, New Hampshire. That's good for Matthew Hurto.
Next on the day was our runner-up, was the bridesmaid after helping someone else in the 67. That is Kristen DiStefano.
Next in line in the number 22 machine out of Seabrook, New Hampshire. That's good for Adam Knowles.
And we call him affectionately Miller Time in the 68 out of Claremont Motorsports Park. That is Steve Miller Sr. His next is his son in the 79. That is Steve Miller Jr., the gangster of love.
Next in line in the 25 New Hampshire, the driver out of Pelham. That's going to be good for Michael Yeaton.
Next on the grid in the 83 Maine, that is Doug Churchill. Taking tail in the 52 New Hampshire is Mike Comtois out of Pelham, New Hampshire.
All right, a pretty action-packed field we're going to have here. Looking for a name. Chris Jones out of Fremont, New Hampshire in the 33 will pilot that pink and black machine there. We're going to cross them up here this time by, I believe. So what we're going to see is we're going to go 2x2 here to start this race. Tristan Bodwell and the number 24 machine of Paul Childs are going to take the field here down to green for your O'Reilly Auto Parts 6-shooters race.
Joe Breggy, chief starter, says, come on, guys, let's gobble them up. These guys and gals are ready to put on a 15-lap feature event here at the Lee USA Speedway.
Tristan Bodwell in the 17 machine. Gonna try and put them to the boys here tonight here at Lee USA Speedway. On the outside to her inside, though, is the 24. Paul Childs gonna try and take it from the pole to point down through turns 1 and 2. Pole sitter does have race control here to take the green. So chief starter going to point at the field here. 2x2x2. We're going to go down through turns 3 and 4. The 24 and 17. Looking over to the flag stand. Green flag is out and we are racing.
Dives down to the turn number 1. Child's going to keep the lead as they go through. Bodwell to the outside. And Hurtu and DiStefano works the high side. Out of third, and there, almost made it 3 wide. Steve Miller Sr.
Kristen DiStefano making her way up into the top 3 there. No stranger to victory lane here at Lee USA Speedway. Paul Childs, though, takes over the race lead from the pole position as Tristan Bodwell files it into the 2nd spot.
And Knowles, our winner the last time here, now works into lap traffic in the 22. He and the gangster of love, Steve Miller Sr. in the 79. Working all over hard too. He's going to have his mirror full in about 3 seconds.
Things seem to calm down here just a little bit. 2 laps of the books here so far for your O'Reilly Auto Parts 6-shooter. Top 4 under a blanket up off of turn number 4 as the 24 leads him down through turns 1 and 2.
Now coming into the mix, they've been winning on all the NASCAR tracks. Here comes Steve Miller Sr. in the 68. Now to the back bumper, the 67 of DiStefano.
DiStefano hanging on to that third position here. Just in front of her is another girl in the field, Tristan Bodwell out of Sanford. Trying to hang on to it in the 17X machine, fading just a little bit back to the nose of Kristen DiStefano.
Childs is hanging on to the lead. He's probably stretched it out by 3 cars, but Bodwell looking to close that up as she exits turn number 4. They'll take that lead maybe down to 2.
Doug Churchill in the, the 67 machine. The 67 machine of Kristen DiStefano hanging on to the third position there just in front of the 68.
Now, caution is out. We've got a missing wheel. Came off the right rear of the 52 of Mike Comtois. It's just making its way down the backstretch by itself.
That's all right. We got a wheel. Folks, we got a race going on with that wheel going down the backstretch. Is it going to make it all the way down the backstretch? You think it's still rolling? We got drivers scooting around it here. I'm hoping NaturVision has this on the screen, focusing on that tire. It's going through the grass now. Maybe it'll make it through turns 3 and 4. Who knows?
It was almost like having a mobile commitment.
And it finally lays rest in turns 3 there. Almost a show in itself.
A race within a race for sure. Looks like back further in the field, that's exactly what was going on. Comtois was coming up through, but missing a right rear wheel is not going to help him.
No, we were talking earlier, sometimes 8 wheels is better than 4 if you're to the inside of a driver and you're trying to shuffle them out of the way a little bit. But I've never seen 3 tires work, so I don't think that that's going to be advantageous to whoever that came off of there, but tough break.
Come off the 52 of Mike Comtois. Track officials are going to go out, scoop it up, get it out of the way. Hopefully, depending on what broke, maybe Comtois can get back. Maybe it's just, whoops, we forgot to tighten the lug nuts. Nut and bolt check. That's what they call it, Charlie, isn't it? Not correct?
That is indeed what they call that, and lug nuts are pretty important, as you can tell. Again, I've never seen 3 tires work for a hot setup anywhere, but you'll have that in big-time auto racing, I guess, right? O'Reilly Auto Parts 6-shooters, always good for some entertainment there. As again, we're on the second feature event here tonight at Lee USA Speedway. Some incredible talent here for this division here. Again, up front, the 24, Paul Childs, trying to hold off Tristan Bodwell in that 17 machine. Kristen DiStefano, again, not a stranger to victory lane here in that 67 machine, rounding out your top 3 right now. So a little bit calm there for a second. We only got 5 laps in the books. We got 15 to go. 20 laps on tap here for your O'Reilly Auto Parts 6-shooters. So just going to try and make sure that the track gets cleared off here. We got some debris, if you will, up off of turns number 1 and 2 there. We're going to get that Ford Ranger off the racetrack here and get these guys and girls crossed back up.
Childs has basically had his way with it right now. He's dominated from the pole, stuck it out there for the last 5 laps, but he's got to hold on to it for 15 more if he wants to see the double checkers.
Certainly nothing more nerve-wracking, if you will, than being on the pole throughout the middle stages of a race here. You're under yellow. You know that you've got one of the better cars here throughout the field. The 24 Paul Childs here, simply thinking, how do I continue doing what I've been doing so far here? At this point, you're starting to hear every little clang and bang and whatever that your car is seeming to make here, hoping that it stays together here for, again, just 15 more laps as we're going to cross them up this time by Paul Childs. Tristan Bodwell going to remain your front row here, but just behind them going to be Kristen DiStefano and the number 68 of Steve Miller.
Lights are out on the Lee USA pace car, the Toyota Camry, ready to go. Joe Breggy says, pace car off, and here we go. Ready to restart lap number 6. Childs and Bodwell in the 17. Here they come. They're going to come down to the stripe. They're in the zone. Childs gets on the right pedal and is off.
Paul Childs from the pole to point down through turns 1 and 2, squirting away from the rest of the field here. DiStefano follows suit on the bottom side, 67 up to second.
Kristen DiStefano would love to get to victory lane. She's been a bridesmaid twice. She actually gave the winner the last time, Adam Knowles, her alternator. and he beat her with her alternator.
Here she comes yet again. Kristen DiStefano to the bottom side of Paul Childs in the 24. Two-car breakaway from the rest of the field. As further on back, Tristan Bodwell having some mechanical troubles, trying to fall back in line.
DiStefano hits the pedal, comes out of turn number 4, and takes her lead. Kristen DiStefano takes the lead away from Childs on lap number 7. Now it's Miller and Miller battling for the 3rd spot. Steve Miller Sr. in the 68 now going to get some pressure from the 79 of Steve Miller Jr.
Another beautiful part about motorsports, doesn't matter your gender or anything about you whatsoever. Rules packages put into play, an equal playing field. Kristen DiStefano putting it to the boys right now. She's your race leader by about 10 car lengths over Paul Childs.
Here she comes, lap number 9 in the books. She'll be halfway next time by. Kristen DiStefano takes the 67, airs it out down the backstretch. Paul Childs in the 24. Joe Breggy says we're halfway. Kristen this time by.
Halfway down, halfway to go. This time by Kristen DiStefano in the number 67 machine on an absolute Friday night cruise right now. 10 laps down, 10 to go. Paul Childs now coming back into the grasp of Steve Miller in the 68. Second spot under attack, but here comes the 79 of Steve Miller Jr.
Both of the Millers looking to advance their way up through. Childs has taken the high line twice. Miller's looking to set him up. That's not the preferred line for these cats. And here comes the challenge for Miller for second.
We're talking about trophies here, folks. Second and third now at stake here between 3 drivers under a blanket as Kristen DiStefano continues to walk away with this one as she has a 2.154 second lead over Paul Childs now, who's back to the front bumper of Steve Miller in the 68.
Battle further ensues back between the 25 New Hampshire of Michael Yetton and the 22 of Adam Knowles. Knowles would love maybe to have DiStefano's alternator back because he last week was victorious with that in his car.
Certainly some camaraderie there throughout the O'Reilly Auto Parts 6 shooters drivers there. It's not about simply winning. It's about winning with respect as well, too. Parts and all sorts of secrets get shared throughout the pit area to try and better the rest of the field so that competition remains at a high level. But right now, Kristen DiStefano is putting that theory to bunk completely as we're coming up on 5 laps to go here, and she's got about a half straightaway lead over the rest of the field.
5-finger salute from Joe Breggy, our flagman. That will click off this time by. Childs now getting heated pressure from both the Millers.
It's Miller time, fighting for third right now as we got a battle for third.
Here we go, back further in the field. DiStefano now challenges for second, third, and fourth. DiStefano in the 67, dominant since she got past the 24 of Childs. Here comes the challenge for second. Steve Miller Sr., the Space Cowboy, they call him. Looks to the outside of the 24 of Paul Childs, but he's getting pressure from his son, the Gangster of Love, Steve Miller Jr. in the 79. Popsicle sticks fly. DiStefano got 2 laps to go. That makes Miller in the 68 hit the go pedal hard. Going to try to put the pressure on the 24 is the 68 of Steve Miller Sr. Kristen DiStefano, 1 lap to go. DiStefano stretches it out. Still the battle ensues for second. Miller makes a tap, lets him know he's there. Lets Childs in the 24. Victorious is Kristen DiStefano. Paul Childs holds off the challenge of the Space Cowboy Steve Miller Sr. The 79 of Steve Miller Jr., the Gangster of Love, Michael Yetton, Tristan Bodwell, Adam Knowles. Those are your O'Reilly 6 shooters, folks. Going to try to speed up victory lane. Just going to put the winner in. And we're going to turn the mic over to Charlie Sanborn in victory lane.
Kristen DiStefano in victory lane. Certainly not for the first time, not even for the first time this year in 2023. Absolutely stinking up the show there in your O'Reilly Auto Parts six-shooter race. She's getting out of the car right now. She's talking to some photographers here. Always good for a new Facebook profile pic, right? You always got to have that. Always better with a checkered flag as well, too. She's getting some handshakes here from the officials. She's getting out of the car. Round of applause, folks. Kristen DiStefano, your race winner. Come on around the front of the car here. I was telling the folks while you were in the car still, you're no stranger to victory lane. Not your first time, not even your first time this year. How was that? You walked away with that one.
Oh, I'll tell you one thing. It's very hot in that car. It was a very good race. Tristan, every time I race against her, she improves every week. It was great to see her holding her own out there. I just tried to pass everybody as clean as I could and just tried to keep in my head one corner at a time. My husband gives me a great car. What can I say? I can drive it all I want, but if he doesn't give me a great car, it's not going to work. But I have to thank Lee USA Speedway. Man, I love racing at this track. I have to thank my sponsors, Tim Zanelli Excavating, Air Control Industries, Shamrock Friends, Profab, Kingsley Automotive, Advance Auto, and O'Reilly's.
Now, one more question for you. You had a pretty extensive lead there, right? Were you starting to hear every tick and ping and whatever going on in that race car? Because you absolutely walked away with that one.
Well, we have no mirrors, so I have no idea how far somebody is behind me. I just literally concentrate on one corner at a time and just keep breathing. One more corner, one more corner.
Well, there you have it, folks. Your O'Reilly Auto Parts six-shooter winner, Kristen DiStefano. Back up to you, Randy.
Thank you, Charlie Sanborn III. Folks, there is no waiting because if you're waiting for concessions, there's no line here at the Turn 3 concession stand area. So if you got an inkling, run down, grab yourself something to eat, and we'd love to help you. We'll be right on back with you in just a moment.
Like I heard angels singing, like she came down from the ceiling when she walked in here this evening. I thought, yeah, that girl 1 in 7 billion got everyone in here feeling like there's a fire in this building so hot. Got a smile on an angel face. I know I'll never lose my faith. Look what God gave her, how perfect He made her. She walks in the room, it's like He answered my prayers. The way that she moves, how could anybody blame her? I know she's got haters, but it ain't her fault. No, look what God gave her. Got that look in her eyes, swear she fell right out the sky. Yeah, I think I've seen the light. Every kiss I could die, it's like the heavens open wide. Man,
Next on the grid in that gorgeous 20, that is Joe Pastor Jr.
Next in line, the driver in that beautiful white and green, number 93, the driver out of Berwick, Maine. Round of applause for Ryan Green.
The Connecticut Hot Shoe coming to do battle with these cats tonight. In the 7, the Casa Grande Builders 7 CT for Corey Casa Grande.
Next in line, in the 32 Corvette Parts.net Chevrolet. That is your 2022 Rodfather Pro Stock Champion here at the Lee USA Speedway. Round of applause for the number 32 of Brandon Barker.
Next starter on the outside in the Deuce, the beautiful blue and black too. That is Nick Cusack.
Next in line, we're getting up into our top 10. Starting 10th on the field in this one, the number 90 machine. He is NASCAR super spotter himself. He spots for Kyle Busch. This is the driver out of Maine. Round of applause for Derek Nealon.
Next on your starting grid, the 12G, the Hudson Speedway sponsored 12G for Derek Granfit.
To his outside row number 4. The driver, we call him the Outlaw. The 17 Massachusetts, that's good for Eddie McDonald.
Next starter on the inside, coming to us in the 8NC. They call him the Rowdy One. This is Kyle Busch.
To his outside, a driver who has won here before at Lee USA Speedway this year already. Out of Scarborough, Maine, the driver of the Norm's Used Cars Quinn's Installation, number 94 Ford Mustang. Round of applause for Garrett Hall.
Had the fast time early on, and then unfortunately due to the inversion, got back to the front on the inside. That is Joey Paul.
And to his outside, the driver out of Seekonk, Massachusetts, the Everett Auto Parts Chevrolet, number 72, the RKM Setup Shop driver, Ryan Kuhn.
On the outside pole in the, here's the 8. That is the beautiful black and white. We call it the basic 8. That is Angelo Bosito.
Now, folks, after a 9-car inversion on the pole for this one, the Peter Pettit prepared Norm's Used Cars, number 73D, a former Granite State Pro Stock Series champion, a multi-time winner here at Lee USA Speedway. Round of applause for Joey DeWiron out of Berwick, Maine. Now, folks, 29 cars set the field here tonight. Now, as we prepare to get ready, drivers, prepare for competition.
Time to play the game. Time to play the game. It's all about the game and how you play it. All about control, and if you can take it, all about your debt. And if you can pay it, it's all about pay. And who's gonna make it? I am the game. You don't wanna play me. I am control. No way you can shake me. I am heavy debt. No way you can pay me. I am the pain, and I know you can't take me. Look over your shoulder, ready to run like a Cleveland bitch from a smoking gun. I am the game, and I may lose. So move on out, you can die like a fool. Trying to figure out what my move's gonna be. Come on over, sucker, why don't you ask me? Don't you forget there's a price you can pay.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I'd like you all that can to rise and stand. Gentlemen and ladies, remove your caps as we pay homage to the greatest country in the world, the United States of America.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We're going to energize these guys.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would, look this field over. Look at all these beautiful race cars, this incredible talent, and join us in the 4 most famous words in motorsports on a 3 count. 1, 2, 3. Gentlemen, start your engine!
Ready to do battle for a 125 lap feature event. The goal, $10,000 to win.
Let's get the party started, folks. 29 cars on tap here. Lee USA Speedway, Rodfather Pro Stocks, $10,000 on the line.
Ready to go. Engines are fired. Oil is hot. We're going to put some heat in the tires. And then we're going to release them, Charlie, for 125 feature laps.
The fastest fendered race cars in the region on the racetrack in front of you right now. On the pole for this one, the driver out of Berwick, like we mentioned, Joey DeWyrande is outside Angelo Belcito. 9 cars were the invert from single car qualifying. Keep an eye on the driver. Somebody, that up-and-comer, if you will, from the Vegas area, the 2-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, Kyle Busch in the 8NC.
Giving props where props are due, the 25 and Sean Knight out of South Paris, Maine. He had to get a little push start. He's starting at the rear of the field tonight.
Another driver to keep an eye out for. Won many times here at Lee USA Speedway, the driver of the 12G with NASCAR experience himself, Derek Griffith. Another one, Wayne Hallowell Jr. in the 27, many multi-time winner at Lee USA Speedway. In addition to the former owner's son, Eddie McDonald in the 17 there. Also, NASCAR super spotter Derek Nealon in the 90 car. We've got a stacked field here, folks. Trevor Sanborn, Evan Bollier, Corey Bubar, the $10,000 man, Casey Call, all shooting for $10,000 more here tonight.
As hot laps continue, they're looking to put, you can see the track photographer, Miss M, hanging out the window. Oh, we have Frankie Eldridge off into the grass here on the front stretch in the 09. That is not the place to start your race.
No, you certainly cannot park there, folks. It is not recommended, at least. Slick tires don't love wet grass, so we're going to have to pull the 09 of Frankie Eldridge out of the infield grass here and get this show on the road. Miss M, shout out to her hanging out of the pace car care, getting some action shots here of this beautiful Rodfather Pro Stock feature event lineup here. Randy, I'm excited. I'm giddy. I'm like a little kid up here. I am ready to go for the fastest fendered cars in the area, the Rodfather Pro Stocks.
This is what you came for, folks. This is the show here at the New Hampshire Center of Speed. When these cats come by the next time, they get Frankie out. Whoop. Frankie's waving off the push truck. He may have something broke in the 09. He may need to have it lifted.
Looking like we're going to need to tow the 09 off the racetrack here. So as these drivers here going to continue to build heat in their tires and get some oil temp in these machines here, we're going to look over these beautiful, beautiful Pro Stock cars here.
Gorgeous.
What an incredible stacked field we have here. Some of the best drivers in the area and the country at this point here. We've got national champions throughout the field. We've got some of the top 3 or people with top 3 experience in the likes of Kyle Busch, also in the likes of Derek Griffith, multi-time winner in the NASCAR Cup Series as a spotter and the Xfinity Series. Derek Nealon piloting that number 90 machine. A lot of these drivers making their way back from the big track here at Loudon to put on one heck of a show here for you folks tonight. Like Randy kept saying, this is why you're here. This is what you spent your hard-earned money for. This is why you got out of work a little bit early today to come and sit in these beautiful blue grandstands here at Lee USA Speedway. The Rodfather Pro Stocks, guaranteed to put on one heck of a show here. You got your 2022 Rodfather Pro Stock champion, Brandon Parker, in the field as well, too. He knows how to get around this place. One of the few drivers, I believe only 3 in the history of the American Canadian Tour to win his first ever start in that touring series. He's in the 32 machine.
I'll tell you what, Charlie, this is the barn burner. You called it right earlier. A tough break for the 18 heading pit side already. Maybe having issues with an overheating situation.
If nothing else, this is just amping up the show even more, folks. We're getting heat in these race cars. Like I said, we're pulling Frankie Eldridge out of the infield here. We are only building anticipation here. Kyle Busch starting 5th on the field here. You got the front row, Joey Dwyer and Angelo Belcito. Not a single driver in this field, I don't believe, has not won a race at some point throughout their career. One of the most stacked fields I have ever seen for a pro stock feature event. Again, 125 laps on tap here for $10,000 to the winner, presented by the Rodfather himself. These are your Rodfather Pro Stocks. And again, anticipation building here, Randy. And I am just right beside myself.
I'll tell you what, you think the excitement's here. What do you think's going on in these cars? These drivers are buckled in, strapped in, ready to go. Sat through the national anthem, and now are taking these quintessential, so but sure pace laps. They're itching. They're ready to go. Casey Call, does he become the $20,000 man?
That's an incredible question there, Randy. The driver, I believe, out of Seabrook, New Hampshire, in the number 90 New Hampshire there, brought home $10,000 1 year ago by beating Tyler Reddick right here at the very same Lee USA Speedway. He has an opportunity to do that again for his 2nd year in a row and possibly become the $20,000 man. But we've got multi-time champions throughout the field here. We're going to have Frankie Eldridge out here. And folks, pick your driver. Pick your favorite car. Get up, wave your hat, wave your hands. We're going to fire these drivers off here in just a lap. They salute you.
Wave them up, folks. Wave your neighbor, wave your arm, wave whatever you've got. They see you. They're ready to go. They're waving back. We're excited. We're ready to put the hard pedal down. Pace car, lights are off. We'll be going, Charlie. Green this time by.
Lights are out on the pace car this time by. Berwick, Maine, and Auburn, Massachusetts are your front row. The 73D and the 8 machine. Gonna bring them 2 by 2 by 2 down through turns 3 and 4. Direct your attention to the flag stand. Chief Starter throws the green right now, and we are racing.
Dave Tibbetts runs down into turn number 1. The Wyron. What? Belcito hot on the top side. Going high, wide, and handsome here at the center of speed.
2 by 2, we remain throughout the field here. Joey DeWyron trying to command the race lead here as we're going to go single file here through our top 4. Kyle Busch to the inside of Garrett Hall. He wants to break up into the top 5.
Now look at the battle ensue further back. The 8 NC just got cut off by 2 in the 72. Kyle Busch on the inside. The 94 to rock his outside.
Las Vegas, Nevada, and Scarborough, Maine right now duking it out for the 5th spot. We've got a 2-time Cup Series champion to the inside of a multi-time Pro Stock Series winner, Garrett Hall. Duking it out side by side yet again, door handle through turns 3 and 4 for the 5th spot.
We've got 1 in the books, 2 this time by. And, excuse me, 4. And Joey DeWyron. I don't think he's saving anything, Charlie. He's just going to let that 7-3D roll to the front.
Joey DeWyron, notorious for being able to save tires there in that 73D machine. The driver out of Berwick, a multi-time Granite State Pro Stock Series champion, knows how to set the field here. Bringing along Angelo Belcito and Joey Polowarchek rounding out your top 3.
Joey Pole in the 97. Solid player he is. Now gets to the back upper in the 8 of Belcito. Challenging for the 2nd spot. We are all in line as we are completing lap number 7.
7 laps in the books. That means that we've got about 117 to go here. Garrett Hall kind of falling back onto the front bumper of Kyle Busch here, who leads the way up ahead of Derek Griffith and Wayne Hellowell Jr. as the top 3 continue to break away from the rest of the field.
6th, 7th, and 8th. Kyle Busch, Derek Griffith, Wayne Hellowell. We saw the last time the Pro Stocks were here, Hellowell and Griffith put on the show and show. And now they are here again, nose to tip.
Early stages on here right now. 9 laps, 10 laps to go, or 10 laps into the books this time by as we cross the checkered line here. Everybody now kind of falling into a rhythm, a groove, if you will, seeing what they can save till the end of this 125 lap main event. $10,000 is a lot of money, whether you're a professional or the guy that does this out of your shop. Right now, as Angelo Belcito attacks Joey Dwyer for the race lead.
Belcito coming up to lap traffic, goes to the inside of Dwyer. He's looked multiple times. He likes that blue. Keeps dipping the nose in. Maybe not just quite yet.
Everybody minding their P's and Q's right now. Again, top 3 kind of in their own little area code compared to the rest of the field here. 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, like you said here, just trying to maintain, see what they can lead to the end of the race here. Another little area code there, and then we fall back to the number 17 Massachusetts of Eddie McDonald, who leads the 3rd pack.
Eddie Mack, no stranger to the Lee USA Speedway. I had a great talk during the banquet this season. His dad said he made himself popcorn. That was the first job.
All sorts of things that you can learn your way in the motorsports world. Making popcorn, certainly one of those. Right now, though, battle shaping up for the lead. Angelo Belcito all over the back bumper of Joey Dwyer, and the number 73. He is the top 2, trying to squirt away a little bit from the former Oxford 250 champion, Joey Polowarchuk.
Belcito has had contact twice. Usually it's, whoa, right here on the front stretch. Down into turns 1 and 2. Belcito's the new leader.
Belcito with the boot scooting boogie down through turns 1 and 2 here. Joey Dwyer may return the favor here, trying to get back up underneath the 8 machine as the top 3 now, bringing Joey Polowarchuk back up into the mix.
It's always been the call. The first one is I'm here. The second, you choose the line. The third is, if not, I'll choose it for you. Belcito with the look to victory lane.
Further on back in the pack, Kyle Busch seeming to struggle here just a little bit, getting passed by not only Garrett Hall early on, but now Wayne Hellowell making around his way of the 18 Auto Parts Chevrolet. Now Derek Griffith trying to find a way around the Las Vegas native.
Wayne Hellowell Jr. has got that 27 on a walking rail. Training towards the front. Now sets his sights on the 94 of Garrett Hall. But he just fooled both Griffith and Busch. Well, how to get around the New Hampshire Center of Speed.
Kyle Busch just pulling over, letting Derek Griffith on by. Still very early on in this race here. We got about 105 laps left to go here. Only 19 in the books. 20 this time by as Angelo Belcito continues to pace the field over Joey Dwyer and Joey Polowarchuk.
Traffic car of the 18 trying to get by now is Joey Pole in the 97. The top 3 get through lap traffic. It is Belcito, Dwyer, and Joey Pole.
Randy, let's look at this top 5 that we have here right now. Our race leader, Angelo Belcito out of Auburn, Massachusetts, a multi-time Pro Stock Series winner, a winner in the modified ranks as well, too. Just behind him, a multi-time Granite State Pro Stock Series champion, followed by an Oxford 250 champion, followed by a Pro All-Star Series champion, followed by a Beach Ridge Motor Speedway champion. That is your top 5 right now, folks. If we don't have a stack field, then I don't know what it is.
That's a pedigree to beat all pedigrees, for sure. This is short track racing at its finest. Thank you, folks, for joining us tonight here at the Lee USA Speedway, because this is the show.
Shout out to everybody over on National Vision as well, too. That's NHSTRAvision.com. We got a packed house online as well, too. Comments are flooding in. What an incredible show here we have for our Rodfather Pro Stock $10,000 to win show here. Lap traffic starting to come into play here just a little bit as Angelo Belcito is navigating that perfectly, as is Joey Dwyer and Joey Polowarchuk.
Belcito uses the lap traffic to hopefully hold on to competitors. And Dwyer in the pole. Doc Piper in the 53 is the lap car. But as we are turning them off, lap 26, Belcito has set sail.
Top 3 with some clear sailing here. Now further on back the pack, Kyle Busch in that 8 machine, looking to the outside here, trying to make something work here in that Archie St. Hilaire Keen Parts Chevrolet, trying to just find whatever he can here for his first time at Lee USA Speedway, New Hampshire Center of Speed.
The battle for 6th and 7th, Wayne Halliwell just gets passed by Derek Griffith, and now Halliwell pulling Busch with him.
Kyle Busch trying to navigate lap traffic along with your race leader, still trying to hang on to the outside portion of our top 10 here. He is in the 8th spot currently between Wayne Halliwell and Eddie McDonald as we've got traffic here now. Busch making a move to the inside of Wayne Halliwell Jr. We got donuts on the side of the 8 car.
A little rubbing is racing. Black Bart's showing. Kyle Busch gets by the 27 of Wayne Halliwell Jr. Now tries to reel in the 12G of Derek Griffith. But Busch all over Halliwell. No stranger to victory lane here at the Rockets. Ready to Rockets world.
We said it earlier, we were maybe looking at some people saving it, seeing what's going to be left here at the end of 125 laps. Kyle Busch maybe flipping the on switch a little bit here as he's coming up on the back bumper as Joey Polowarchek goes up and smoke down the backstretch.
Oh, tough break for Joey. Car looks like it's coming apart in the 97. Hopefully he's not dumping anything on the track doing this.
Black flags are good for podcasts, but not what you want to see on the racetrack there. Joey Polowarchek receiving the black flag there to pull that number 97 New Hampshire off the racetrack. That's another spot for the rest of our top 10 there as Ryan Kuhn, Derek Griffith, Garrett Hall, Kyle Busch, and Wayne Halliwell get around it beautiful.
Holy moly, look to the outside. There goes Griffith in the middle lane, coming out turn number 2. And Kuhn, caution on the racetrack.
We got a yellow out for the first time here tonight for our Rodfather Pro Stock $10,000 feature event. We're going to re-rack the field here, folks. Get everybody square back away in their proper positions. We've got 33 laps in the books here so far. Who saved a little bit here as we are under 100 laps to go, 92 to be exact here. For the remainder of this feature event, we got some cars pulling up off the raceway here, maybe making some adjustments or calling it a night.
Charlie, it's still early on in the race. Maybe we go catch a tire. Maybe change some tire pressures. Do a little jack bolt twisting. Something's got to happen. If you're at the back of the field now, it's get ready to go.
If you're in the back of the field at this point, you have absolutely nothing to lose. You've only got 33 laps in the books here, folks. Just under 100 to go. An absolute prime opportunity to make adjustments here to see if you can come back out here and come from the back of the pack all the way up through the field. Not to be lost in that fact. That is something that Casey Call kind of did last year. He kind of hung around the middle of the pack there, made his way back up to the lead, and was duking it out with NASCAR superstar Tyler Reddick for the win. So keep an eye out for a lot of these other drivers coming out of the pit area here, possibly making some adjustments that are going to light those cars on fire here and see what they have for the remainder of 125 laps.
It is still anyone's race, but Anthony Belcito, what a great young hot shoe this kid is. In the Bellboys Trucking Inc. number 8, doing such a great job. He timed it accordingly, paced his way through, got it where he needed to be, and then shot by Dwyer. He gave him a couple of shots to move him, but he was letting him know, I want that spot.
And again, folks, we kind of did it a little bit earlier here, but without any names, we're going to go with a Pro Stock and Modified winner. Granite State Pro Stock Series champion. Pro All-Star Series champion. Pro All-Star Series champion again. Beach Ridge Motor Speedway champion. 2-time NASCAR Cup Series champion. Former Pro All-Star Series and American Canadian Tour champion. That is your current top 7 on the racetrack. Not to be left out is Eddie McDonald, who also has championships to his credit. Brandon Barker is your current and reigning Rodfather Pro Stock Series champion as well, too. Championships and race wins are littered throughout this entire field here, folks. And this is an incredible stat just to look out on the racetrack and see who's out there right now.
Talk about shining stars. They've got it right there, right in front of you. Everyone here at the Lee USA Speedway is in ready fashion. Victory lane will come soon enough, and we'll see who's going to take the checkers and the check for 10G.
Hey, I don't care if you are a multi-million-dollar race-winning NASCAR driver or if you're the guy that does this out of your garage. $10,000 means something, folks. That means a lot. It is one of the highest-paying super late model races in the area here on a casual, beautiful, blue-skied Friday night. We don't care about rain here at Lee USA Speedway. We got a packed house here, folks, for $10,000 on tap. Let's go!
Gonna go back green next time by. Track officials are they just double checking that Joey Pole wasn't dropping a lot of fluid onto the track. Here comes the 90K. Derek Nealon. He needed some adjustments. Let's see if he can run spotter up to competitor and see what happens.
Derek Nealon certainly no slouch behind the wheel of any form of race car. He won a couple limited races back in the day at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. Has some super late model experience or pro stock experience now, whatever you want to call it, in that number 90 machine. The pedigree of that race car as well, too. Has some championships behind it, too. Also with Rusty Poland preparing that machine. That's a stout piece, folks, to keep an eye on here in that red and white and black number 90 machine. Watch him pick his way back up through the field here, folks. Not a single driver you can count out here in any way whatsoever.
No one in this field is not up for the challenge. We're on lap 33 of 125. Nealon pulls off again. Something just not right with a 90K.
Now we're going to take an extra couple laps here, folks, just to make sure that we have an all-clear racetrack here, because we don't want this big finish to be affected by something silly like oil down on the racetrack or unprepared racing surfaces. So we're going to make sure it's 110% for these incredible top-notch race car drivers here. Again, in the fastest fendered cars in the area, the Rodfather Pro Stocks here at Lee USA Speedway.
Yeah, good to see Joey Pole in the 97. He's returned. Whatever was going on, whatever was leaking, could have been dumping on a header or something, causing that smoke situation. He's gone to the attention of his crew. Track officials are looking at him in turns 3 and 4, making sure he's not dropping stuff as he's going. The leak should be fixed.
Now, one thing to keep in mind, folks, too, is according to timing and scoring, the number 97 New Hampshire of Joey Polowarczyk Jr. is a lap down. So just keep that in mind here as he's going to try and work his way back up through the field here, try to get back on the lead lap with the rest of this high talent here that we have for this feature event. Keeping some heat in the racetrack as well, too, is what we're doing, making sure we have a nice clean surface as, again, track officials making their rounds away. And looks like we're parking some track trucks, Randy. We might be crossing them up here in just a moment.
Yep, it looks like that way, Charlie. We're getting ready to go back green. Ready to go. Anyone got an odds-on favorite?
All right, folks. Let's get ready. Let's get amped up. Let's buckle back in. We're going to cross them up this time by still your front row, Auburn, Massachusetts, Angelo Belcito, followed by Berwick, Maine's Joey Duiron. We're going to get him crossed up this time by 2 by 2 by 2. We're going to go. We are going to go green flag racing here in just one lap. 33 laps in the books.
You talked about it earlier, Charlie. I just saw the 8NC go by. It's got tire marks on both sides of the car.
Well, I think it's a pretty known fact. Kyle Busch, quite frankly, just does not care. He is here for one reason and one reason only. He wants $10,000 more in his pocket, but we're going to direct our attention back over to the flag stand here. Green flag is out, and we are racing.
Dave Tibbetts throws it out. He is the victor, looking to take the 8 back to the front and does so. But now, looks like Dwyron looking to make more of a challenge to his outside.
From the pole, the point, Angelo Belcito continues to command the race lead in that number 8 machine. But here comes the RKM setup shot. Everett Auto Parts 72 machine of Ryan Kuhn, who's now under attack from Derek Griffith.
Derek Griffith pile drives the 12G on the underside, looking to get to the leaders. They will take the 35 away from Ryan Kuhn. But here comes the challenge. Up in the front, Dwyron to the outside of Belcito. Can he make it stick? Coming out of turn number 4, Not that time.
Further on back in your top 5, here comes Kyle. High side hustling that Archie St. Hilaire prepared, number 8, North Carolina. To the outside of Ryan Kuhn he goes. That's no slouch. That's your current and reigning Pro All-Star Series North champion, Kyle Busch, trying to make the high side work.
Kyle Busch works the outside. That's drop 3. In Belcito, Dwyron, and Griffith are going to have company from the 8NC momentarily. He's got the 4 spot and looking to dig further to the front.
Top 3 breaking away here a little bit, but again, here comes Kyle. Top 4 spot for the 8 machine as Angelo Belcito has a mirror full of Joey Dwyron trying to regain the race lead.
Joey Dwyron's been all over that 8 car. He's setting him up. If you watch, he's methodical. He's gone to the outside. He's cut down to the inside. He's looking to make Belcito make a mistake to him to capitalize.
Now here is where experience comes into play, folks. Here is where that top-notch capability and experience behind the belt of a Derek Griffith and a Kyle Busch come into play. They're just going to ride here for a little bit. 40 laps in the books here. We got 85 to go. We're only about a third of the way through this one. There's absolutely no reason to start burning your race car up. We're going to save a little bit for the end of this feature event here, and we're just going to ride single file top 4.
Belcito, Dwyron. Griffith, caution is out. The 82 of Balageron. Piles it hard into the turn 2 wall.
Yeah, the Kingston, New Hampshire driver having a tough driver's side hit there up off of turn number 2. We're going to get these drivers slowed down on the raceway here. Make sure that that particular driver is okay there. Up on the backstretch wall, Bobby Balageron, again, another staple throughout the Pro Stock ranks here throughout Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, between some Pro All-Star Series races, but primarily that Granite State Pro Stock Series Tours. It looks as though the 82 is going to be rolling here. So round of applause for that driver. Looks as though he is all right. Going to try and either tag back onto the tail end of the field here or bring it back pit side. But it looks as though we got some suspension damage possibly where we're just spinning the rear tires. So looks as though driver is okay, though. And we're going to re-rack the field here one more time. Again, 41 laps in the books, Randy.
Anthony Belcito, former champion at the Seekonk Speedway, looking to be the victor tonight. That 8 car's been solid. He's been on the top. He's been on the bottom. He's working his line, and Dwyron is trying to make him make a mistake. Not going to happen yet.
I don't know that there is a single driver in this entire field that has never won a race. A good chunk of them have won championships, as we have said. This is one of the most stacked and stout fields in Pro Stock Series competition that I can remember for quite some time. And again, we're going to calm the pace down here just a little bit. 41 laps in the books, 84 to go. So just about a third of the way through this one here. Angelo Belcito, Joey Dwyron have kind of commanded the race lead back and forth here in the early stages thus far. Derek Griffith, Kyle Busch, obviously no dummies behind the wheel of a race car by any means whatsoever. They've got something up their sleeve. There's always an ace in the hole, especially for that driver out of Vegas. He knows how to play cards, and I'm sure he's pretty good at it.
Sure is. No matter which the size up is, he's gone to the top. He's worked the bottom. The car shows it by the marks. We've seen him work the top and bottom. And we've also seen Derek Griffith. Very crafty. Again, you said it. The word is methodical. He looks to the high side, finds the window. The car sticks. He moves it forward. If he gets it, he's got it. If it doesn't work, he resets his sights on that next competitor in front of him.
Well, I mean, especially between him and Joey Dwyron and Angelo Belcito as well, too. They're not really known for tearing up race cars. They're not known for ripping fenders and doors off of these things. They know how to keep that race car underneath them and have something to show for at the end of this race. And one of the most famous quotes of all time, you must first finish to finish first. You got to get to the end of these races, folks, and all of these drivers know exactly how to do that. Kyle Busch working his way back up into the top 5 here after laying down an absolute heater of a single car qualifying lap, getting relegated back to the tail end of the top 5 with a top 9 inversion from a young fan, Andrew, in the stands here, picking out of that 10 cam. So Kyle Busch, again, methodically working his way back up through the field here, as has Derek Griffith, like we've talked about. Not to count out, though, further on back in the field, that Blue Deuce, Nick Cusack. He's had a couple of good strings of runs here at Lee USA Speedway. Just a couple times ago, finishing second for the for the Rodfather Pro Stocks, also finishing 4th last time out here. He knows how to get around Lee USA Speedway, a former champion of Beach Ridge Motor Speedway in the Wildcat ranks and working his way up into the late models. He's no dummy to victory lane either. Just ahead of him, the 32 Brandon Barker, we've mentioned, he is your current and reigning Lee USA Speedway Rodfather Pro Stock champion. Just ahead of him, Wayne Hellowell Jr., no stranger to victory lane. It doesn't matter the race car or the racetrack, that's for sure. Big shout out too to the number 44 of Trevor Sanborn, the mayor of Parsonsfield, Maine. They're doing something a little bit different here with the rest of his 2023 season. Getting some different experience under his belt this year. One of the most decorated and experienced drivers in the field, Trevor Sanborn, in that 44 machine. Bringing the Richard Moody Chevrolet here to Lee USA Speedway. I was talking to him earlier for the first time in quite some time, Randy. Just the way that their schedules have worked out prior, he had no reason to kind of come in here while racing for other championships in late model racing. So good to see Trevor back here with a competitive top 10 spot so far right here, or just outside the top 10, I should say, in that 44 machine.
And the Hellywell family, always dominant no matter where they go. You can never count out people like the 27. Wayne Hellywell Jr. and Derek Griffith, 2 weeks ago, were the show. They put on the shows. Wayne Hellywell may be just saving his equipment, laid back there, waiting. Barker, I talked to Brandon earlier, and Brandon said, you know what? I practiced that 8 car last week. He said, it's pretty good. I said, so compared to yours, is it better? He said, it might be a tick, but I know how to get around Lee USA Speedway.
Hey, there's nothing that you can substitute for seat time. And I don't care how many NASCAR championships you've won. If you've never come or even seen the high banks of New Hampshire here, it's going to put you a little bit behind the 8 ball compared to a lot of these drivers who come here, whether it be on a weekly basis or multi-times a year throughout the traveling series that come into town here. So Kyle Busch kind of working behind the 8 ball here, but you absolutely cannot count out the 2-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, Kyle Busch, in that same car that also finished second just 1 year ago with Tyler Reddick behind the wheel. So certainly a stout piece, a stout team with that Archie St. Hilaire program. They know how to get some race cars around this joint, the 3/8 high bank mile here of Lee USA Speedway. Again, there's really not much more we can say other than you can't count out a single driver here, Randy, at all. Not even one.
Not at all. Sitting back there minding his business is the 93 of Ryan Green. His dad, a longtime competitor. Whatever he's done to the DNA, it works. And I'll tell you what, they can't be some of the nicer folks to talk with pre-race. They were excited. I said, how's it feel? He says, eh. I said, what does that mean? He says, just what I said. It's kind of eh.
Ryan Green's also the type of driver, he is not going to show you all his cards. He's not going to tell you everything that he has on top here in his number 93 program there. He knows how to get around here. He has found victory lane multi-times here at Lee USA Speedway too. So again, we cannot reiterate it enough. This is one of the most stacked and competitive pro stock fields to date that I can remember, and I've been doing this for over 20 years, Randy. I am so impressed by the talent that has showed up here for this $10,000 to win show, and we are looking like we're going to have a clear racetrack here in just a little bit as we bring off the number 82 of Bobby Bergeron back to the pit area.
He can hear you, folks. Just give him a courtesy clap. We really appreciate him coming in. He'll get that 82 car fixed and get back into competition, I'm sure.
Now again, folks, 41 laps in the books. 84 are going to remain. Angelo Belcito, Joey Dwyron, your top two just behind them. Another stacked row is going to be Derek Griffith, the former Pro All-Star Series national champion. To his outside, 2-time NASCAR Cup Series champion Kyle Busch. That is your second row. All right, folks, we're going to cross them up this time by 2 by 2 by 2. We are going to go. One of the most competitive late model fields to date here at Lee USA Speedway. 41 laps in the books, 84 to go. We're going to go green flag racing here in just one lap.
Lights are out on the pace car. Belcito with Dwyron to his outside. Griffith, Kyle Busch in the next spot. And then Garrett Hall, Ryan Kuhn, the ever spellbound Wayne Halliwell Jr. and our reigning champ. We're getting into the zone. They're going to drop the flag. Dave Timmons says, let's go racing.
Angelo Belsito with a loud pedal down from the Portland point down through turns 1 and 2. But here comes Joey Dwyer strong on the outside. 2 by 2. We're going to remain down the backstretch.
Double them up for the top spot and second and third. Kyle Busch looking to the outside. Contact almost Busch working the high line. And now, holy sandwich, here we come. Belsito almost ended up a sandwich between Griffith and Dwyer.
Almost 3 wide there for the lead. Kyle Busch trying to get back down, but Garrett Hall said, absolutely not. I want the 4 spot. Now under attack is the Las Vegas native. Kyle Busch is under Garrett Hall to the bottom side.
Morrell working the outside. Hall says, you want the outside? Stay up there. Now gets that 4 spot. He's going to dig in and really set his sights on the 8 car of Angelo Belsito.
8s are wild between 3rd and 4th here. Angelo Belsito now to the back, to the front bumper of Kyle Busch, who gives him a little bit of a shot up off of turn number 2. Here comes Kyle Busch for 3rd.
Oh, sideways almost. Loses the grip. Belsito through the middle, moves down to the inside. Your leaders take off, but the battle ensues for 3rd. Now, coming through is Hall and Halliwell. They're watching the 2 8 cars battle it out in Belsito and Busch. And they're going to set their sight to move their car.
Top 2 here starting to break away just a little bit. Angelo Belsito seemingly holding up Kyle Busch just a little bit. Kyle Busch playing nice so far as he remains in the 4 spot as 8s are wild here still for the 2nd row.
Almost the last 15. Dwyer is still your leader. Derek Griffith into 12G. And then Anthony Belsito. Kyle Busch, Garrett Hall, Wayne Halliwell Jr. That is your top 6.
Kyle Busch starting to fall off here just a little bit, coming back to the grass of Garrett Hall and number 94 machine. Things are calming down here just a little bit as we're going to have 50 laps in the books this time by single file. We remain Joey Dwyer, Derek Griffith, Angelo Belsito, your top 3.
Everything pretty much in a straight line. As we complete lap number 50, your leader Dwyer has found some real life back in the 7. Maybe it was just the tires needed to cool down a little bit to give a little bit more grip on this abrasive surface here at the New York Center.
Now further on back in the field here, Trevor Sandmore, the mayor of Parsonsfield, finding his way up into the top 10, getting around Jimmy Renfrew Jr. in that 00. But back up front, we've got Derek Griffith now hawking the back end of Joey Dwyer into the 73D as the top 2 continue to break away with 52 in the books.
Further back in the field, the battle ensues between Casa Grande in the 7 CT and the 93 of Ryan Green, side by side. And then here comes with Casey Cole into the mix in the 90.
The $10,000 man trying to repeat for the 2nd year in a row, but he's going to have quite a bit of work to do to get his way back up into the mix here for the race win. As right now, it has been dominated so far by Joey Dwyer and the Berwick Maine native in the 73D. But here comes Rudolph the red-nosed race car, Derek Griffith up under his back bumper.
Getting up to the bumper, setting his sights, waiting for Dwyer to make a mistake. That's not going to be quick. Dwyer is a sharp cat behind the wheel of the 7 3D, but Griffith also has turned many a lap here at the Lee USA Speedway, and he is tightening his place spot, getting to the 7.
Further on back in the back here, just a little bit, Trevor Sanborn, who peaked up into the top 10 just a couple laps ago, now stalking the back bumper of Nick Cusack in the 2 machine. The mayor of Parsonsfield now going inside of the Scarborough Maine native Nick Cusack as he watches up just a little bit for the 9th spot. Single file, we remain up front. Joey Dwyer and Derek Griffith and Angelo Belsito, your top 3. Now, rounding that out is going to be Kyle Busch in the 4th spot and Scarborough Maine's Garrett Hall with Wayne Halliwell all over the back bumper of the 94.
Luke Scooten was right. Here comes Halliwell, diving to the inside. Got Hall pinched up on the outside. Not going to stick. He looks for the middle line. Comes down into 1 and 2 and drops the hammer. Hall says no way. The 94 car still holding on to P5. But the challenge, they're back in the show. Helliwell not willing to give an inch, and neither is Hall.
The battle right now is for the fifth spot. Garrett Hall already won here once this year at Lee USA Speedway. Under attack from Wayne Helliwell Jr., the Oxford 250 champion, the Pro All-Star Series champion, the American Canadian Tour champion. Wayne Helliwell to the bottom side of Garrett Hall for the fifth spot.
Helliwell now drops the hammer, puts the long hard pedal down, gets that position. Hall looks to cross him over, tries it. Helliwell makes the jump and takes off for fifth.
Joey Dwyer going to wrap the bottom side here through turns 3 and 4, bringing along Derek Griffith and Angelo Belcito. Halfway down, halfway to go this time by. Cross flags in the air for your Rodfather Pro Stock feature event. We have now 63 more laps, 62 more laps to decide who's going to take home $10,000.
Is it Joey Dwyer? Is it going to be Derek Griffith? Does Belcito get back to traction, or is it the rowdy one in Kyle Busch that would love to pocket 10G?
Has Kyle Busch left anything to give in that number 8 North Carolina machine? Again, prepared by the Archie St. Hilaire crew, CorvetteParts.net Chevrolet, trying to get back up into the mix here with Angelo Belcito now kind of in his own little world in the third spot. Here comes Kyle Busch, though, trying to bring home at least a trophy tonight.
Would love to have at least a podium finish, saying to his guys, hey, look what I did on Friday night. But Nealon knows where he is, so, he can't really surprise the group.
That is true. Derek Nealon, again, the spotter for Kyle Busch in the NASCAR Cup Series that you see each and every Sunday this week. They are just down the road at Loudon, New Hampshire. Coming in from the big track here. They're trying to invade what we have is the best weekly show in the league right now, Lee USA Speedway. He's trying to break up into the top 3, bring home a trophy like we said. He wants to bring it back to the big track.
Sean Knight in the 25 goes to the top side. He is a lap car. Leaders hot and heavy. Oh, here comes the 8 of Kyle Busch. Drops to the inside to get by the lap car. Here comes your challenge. Griffith tightening up. Here it comes. Looks on. Comes down the backstretch. Dives to the inside. Gets his nose hit. Pitches Dwyer it up. Here goes Griffith looking for the lead, and he's going to have it. Coming out of 2, Byron says, no way.
Derek Griffith being cautiously aggressive here, feeding Joey Dwyer in the corner here just a little bit down through turns 1 and 2, using that right front fender, but not egregiously in any way whatsoever. Falls back in line to the second spot. Here comes Angelo Belcito for the second spot. Here comes Kyle Busch for the 4th spot. Top 5 breaking away.
These cats are putting together everything they've got. Dwyer, he's running away now because Belcito's challenging Griffith and making him work, taking the heat away. So the challenge from Griffith backs off.
This is exactly what Kyle Busch wants to see up ahead of him. He wants to see them slicing and dicing up ahead, slow them down so he can catch up just a little bit and use all of that experience underneath his cap to try and break up into the top 3, as those top 3 are under a blanket down through turns 3 and 4.
Dwyer still holds the lead as he crosses the straight lap 74 in the books. Now Griffith has got a bumper. Solo Belcito in the 8. Kyle Busch, I think you're right. He and Helliwell are biding their time.
Biding their time with 50 laps to go. This time by 75 laps in the books. 125 on tap here to complete the $10,000 to win show. Joey Dwyer maintaining pace up front with Derek Griffith all up in his grill, if you will, with Angelo Belcito just behind him. And Kyle Busch is just trying to get up within fingertips grasp of that top 3 because, again, he didn't show up here to run fourth, Randy.
He sure did, and he finished here coming to win, and there's no doubt about it. He may be just having some time, letting the tires work in, having something left. I can guarantee when we get to 10 laps to go, he's going to change things Totally is.
It's certainly going to be something to watch out for here as Kyle Busch slowly chipping away at that lead that those top three have put into place here. As last time by, he was actually a couple hundredths quicker than your top three, especially your second place driver. So Kyle Busch working his way up into the top three here, chipping away with only about 5 lengths now between him and them.
And now heavy lap traffic comes up to our leaders. They exit turn number 2. They're going to have a full 5 cars in front of them that are lap cars. Dwyer is a crafting veteran. Let's see how these guys can get by and make their way through. We've seen many lap car cause an issue.
This is certainly going to make things hairy here with 45 laps to go. All right, folks, we got one of the most stacked houses of all time here at Lee USA Speedway. Coming up on the lap traffic, Evan Bollier coming back to the graphs of our race leader, Joey Dwyer in the 73D, bringing along Derek Griffith and Angelo Belcito. This is the opportunity Kyle Busch was looking for, trying to break up into that top 3. Lap traffic may play into the favor of the 8NC.
Oh, back further in the field. Something going on with the 32 because the 44 Sanborn just locked in and took off. Kyle Busch now watching as Belcito looks to make a pick, I think, out of the 56, trying to get around the 12G of Derek Griffith.
I think Griffith is going to give him the bottom side there, knowing that he can use Evan Bollier as that pick, like you said, but Angelo Belcito feeding him the right front fender a little bit, and here comes Kyle Busch, trying to get up into the top 3, looking to the inside of the other car. Angelo Belcito now under attack from the 2-time Cup Series champion.
Griffith just did the slide sandwich, skip, and I'm gone. Between the 25 and the 56. Holy moly. How he got through there, I'll never know.
Angelo Belcito and Kyle Busch just trying to dispose of Evan Bollier now as Busch not in the preferred groove up off of turn number 4 here. Lap traffic not working in his favor. It did help him get up to the back bumper of the top 3, but he now starts to fade back here yet again.
Dwyer using the lap traffic very methodically, going towards the front. He's got 3 more cars in front of him, and then he'll have safe sailing. But he's got to get by. He's getting by the 20 so far. Now, trying to make his way through, but it's really hampering second, third, and fourth.
Quick little fun fact about Derek Griffith in that 12G machine, the Hudson, New Hampshire driver. Doesn't run a single mirror in that race car. He has full trust and faith in his spotter, Dolly Michelitas, who is a seasoned veteran herself on the spotter stand. Now trusting her totally, guys. He's getting around lap traffic here to try and hawk back down Joey Dwyer in the 73D.
Joey Dwyer now comes up on Derek Nealon in the 90K, and then we'll have the 90 of Casey Call, trying to get by on the inside. He'd love to be able to come middle out of turn number 4. Now, into turns 1 and 2. Gets by Nealon. Tries to get by. Something's on the ride with a 93 of Ryan Green.
Casey Call now in jeopardy of almost certainly not going back-to-back here for $10,000. As he goes a lap down there through turns 1 and 2. Derek Nealon also moving up a groove for the second place driver. Derek Griffith going to the inside. Now trying to get back up as we've got clear sailing for the leaders here for the foreseeable future as Derek Griffith now tries to hawk back down our leader.
Down to the bottom side. Gets by Paul and Nealon. Belcito stuck behind the 290. And here comes, oh, Nealon gets a little squirrely in turn number 3, looking to get to the high side. Busch says, dude, I gotta go, get out of the way.
Yeah, here comes Kyle Busch yet again as the 90s are swapping some paint. We got a blue 90 of Casey Call and a red 90 of Derek Nealon here. They're swapping paint for further on back in the field as Kyle Busch now also gets around all the lap traffic as our top 4 single file here down the backstretch with 94 laps of books and 31 to go.
Joey Dwyer and the 40 of Mike Mitchell stopped in the infield on the turn 3 side.
This may be exactly what Kyle Busch was looking for here. He's going to re-rank back to the outside of row number 2. Up front, though, Joey Dwyer has absolutely dominated this one so far with some of the most methodical driving I have seen here at the local ranks. He knows how to not beat up that race car. He knows how to keep something underneath him for the end of a 125-lap feature event. He knows how to do it. He wants that $10,000 just as bad as anybody else. Derek Griffith to his outside. He had a couple opportunities there throughout that last green flag run to try and get around Joey Dwyron. But again, nice, clean, hard racing up front, setting the tone for this one as we're going to have, Randy, about a 30-lap shootout.
And a lot of folks heading to the pits. McDonald, Cusack, Brandon Barker, he's off. They're going to try to make a quick adjustment so they can but they're going to be back at the back of the field. And that's a field that's stacked at the front. Trying to get back up through it is going to be a challenge for all these guys.
What do you think, folks? Look at who's out on that racetrack right now. Are you having a good time? You can do better than that. Are you having a good time or not? That's what we like to hear, folks. 30 laps or 31 laps are set to finish out this one. That's a typical Saturday night feature here at Lee USA Speedway to determine who is going to win $10,000 presented by the Rodfather himself. These are the Rodfather Pro Stocks. Joey Dwyron, Derek Griffith, Angelo Belcito, and the one and only Kyle Busch. Those are your top four. Wayne Hellowell is going to be in the fifth spot. To his outside, you've got Garrett Hall. He knows how to win here too, folks. It's still a crapshoot. We still got plenty of opportunities to decide who is going to bring home those 3 beautiful cups that we have down at the flag stand there, presumably made by Mainly Awards. Steve Perry doing a heck of a job with those cups right there. Now, to only solidify even more $10,000 in your pocket and beating one of the most stacked fields in all of Pro Stock history is a trophy to some weight to it, Randy. That's a cup if I've ever seen a cup, and that's got some weight to it. And I don't know about you or me or whatever if you're of age, but I'd be drinking a beer or 3 out of that by the end of the night.
I was just thinking the same thing. If we dropped that over to the Checkered Flag Pub and we filled it, maybe our field would change.
Hey, depending on who is going to win this race or even be the rounding out of the top 3, that very well may just end up at the bar. We don't know, folks. If you are of age, don't be shy. Head on down to the, what do we call it? The Checkered Flag Pub, Black Flag Tavern, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. They've got the goods. You've got the money. This is another incredible show here at Lee USA Speedway. I am so excited. We've got so much good racing here left, not only in this race, but we've got a couple extra races at the end of this night at a bonus after this $10,000 to win show, folks. But again, up front, Joey Dwyron setting the field here. He knows how to win these races. He knows how to keep that race car underneath him, Randy, and we've got 31 action-packed laps coming to you here.
It's a Friday night shootout, folks. Is this what you came to see? Are you excited to see the end of this?
Now, we've got the top 4, some of the best top 4 in the country. Is your driver Joey Dwyron? Is he going to win the race? How about Derek Griffith? Is that your driver? Is it Angelo Belcito that you came to see win? Or did you pay your money to come and watch Kyle Busch win this race?
So much talent, so many laps. Laps are dwindling. Dwyron's held the lead. Derek Griffith could take it away. He's tried to snatch it multiple times to get by him.
Interesting move here, Randy. Leader lane choice. The leader, Joey Dwyron, taking the outside here for this late race restart. 31 laps are going to decide the feature winner of this event. Joey Dwyron doing a kind of a left-handed move there. He's going to the outside, folks. Can Derek Griffith make the bottom side work with Dolly Michelitas in his ear?
Kyle Busch right directly behind your race leader in the 8NC, Angelo Belcito. On the downside, does he go with Griffith? Does the top work? Does the bottom play an advantage? Here we go. Coming to the green. It's a cat and mouse game. Dwyron, Griffith, Belcito, and Busch. Green's gonna fly. Here we go.
Green is out, and we are racing going down into turns number 1 and 2. Joey Dwyron washes up. We're 3 wide. Here comes Kyle Busch. Yellow is out on the raceway. Seems as though race control is going to call back that restart there. A little bit of a jump on the bottom side from Derek Griffith. They're calling. We're going to give him one more chance here, folks, to see if we can get a nice, clean, even restart. Lights remain out on the raceway here. We're going to re-rack it one more time again. Derek Griffith to the inside. Leader lane choice taking the top side. That's Joey Dwyron out of Berwick. Angelo Belcito and Kyle Busch just behind them. Looking at the flag stand, chief starter, green flag is out, and we are racing.
That time, Dwyron does a good job. He's the race leader. Derek Griffith trying to take it away.
Three wide down the backstretch for the race lead. Here comes Kyle Busch to the bottom.
Kyle Busch digging in. He saved that 8 for everything they got. These last laps.
Kyle Busch is up into a trophy spot now, but he wants an even bigger one. He's all over the back bumper of Joey Dwyron, who has controlled this race so far. Kyle Busch looking at the bottom side.
Holy moly, Anthony Belcito. That's for the 4. Him and Garrett Hall in the 94. But here comes the 27 of Wayne Halliwell Jr.
They're dicing it up behind the top 3. Kyle Busch loves what he sees in his mirror. He's going to use up the back bumper of Joey Dwyron, trying to get up into the second spot. He looks high. He crosses it back under with the run down the backstretch. Looking to the inside. Kyle Busch to the inside of Joey Dwyron.
Busch dropping the hammer, pulls into the inside, drives the car up, has a little bit of contact with Dwyron. Looking to take the second spot. Busch still on the inside. Dwyron says, come get me.
Here is where knowing the racetrack comes into play. Kyle Busch with that high to low move, trying to get underneath Joey Dwyron, but Dwyron knows that he can make the run up top. But look at Brandon Barker down the front stretch. Hood popping up in the 32 machine. That's your 2022 Rodfather Pro Stock champion, Brandon Barker, as Joey Dwyron now crosses back over Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch works the top line. And Dwyron down to the low side. Busch has the advantage down the backstretch. Busch takes your second spot. Now he's going to try to track down. Dwyron's not letting him get away. Busch still works and will get the second place.
24 laps to go, folks. We got a typical short track shootout here to close this one out. Derek Griffith trying to put it to the best of NASCAR's ranks. Kyle Busch, as he's got a 10-length lead over the 8 North Carolina.
Derek Griffith setting sail. Lap 102 just clicked off. Comes down to take 103. Kyle Busch is in second. Joey Dwyron in third. Garrett Hall for your fourth. Angelo Belcito is your top 5.
Kyle Busch finding his home in the second spot right now. Has some work to do to catch back up to race leader Derek Griffith out of Hudson, New Hampshire. Trying to put it to the boys here. Kyle Busch coming in from the big track just down the road where dreams are made. He is now coming back down to race the super late model with some of the country's best, this region's best, if you will. He's going to try and see what he has left with 20 laps to go this time by.
Here we go. Derek Griffith, Kyle Busch. Is there any left? Has Busch been saving that 8 car for this long run? He'd love to see this continue to go green because he gets faster and faster lap time. Derek Griffith would not like to see any kind of a caution. Kyle Busch, Joey Dwyron, the 7, may have just used the car up. Does it have any more, or will he just save it until the end? He'll be told next time by.
That Archie St. Hilaire number 8 machine finished second just a year ago by only a fender. As of right now, has about 10 car lengths to make up to get around Derek Griffith for $10,000 to win here. Time is winding down as we've got 17 laps to go. Joey Dwyron in his own little world in third as everything seems to calm down throughout the field. We're single file, 108 laps into it.
Here we go. Derek Griffith has found every mark, is going to continue to hit those marks. Kyle Busch sits in second, and Joey Dwyron in the 7. Now the battle ensues back here for fourth. Belcito, contact with the 94. He's got his hands all over the wheel of that 8 car. And works it hard through 1 and 2. Pitches Garrett Hall up high. has the advantage coming into turns 3 and 4.
The battle on the racetrack right now is for fourth. Angelo Belcito getting around Garrett Hall out of Scarborough. They're going to try and fall back in line here. 111 laps in the books. Back up front, Kyle Busch trying everything in his repertoire, everything in his wheelhouse to try and navigate and chip away at that race lead that the Hudson, New Hampshire driver of Derek Griffith has built up so far. We're only going to have 12 laps to go this time by. And at this point, Randy, if I am Derek Griffith, I have won a lot of races. I have won a lot of big races. It doesn't matter if it's a super late model or a super modified. Doesn't matter if it's a flat track or the high banks of Lee USA Speedway. He has done it all. He's made his way up into the Truck Series of NASCAR. He's made his way up into the Xfinity Series of NASCAR. Tonight, he finds his way leading the race of the $10,000 to win Rodfather Pro Stock feature event over the two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion Kyle Busch. 10 laps to go this time by. Can he make it work?
I'm telling you, Derek Griffith is focused. He wants this. You can tell. He's on his game. He said earlier, nothing could be better to beat and win this race. He is digging. He is making those laps work. He's counting them off. But the lead, if you look, by time, is narrowing. Does Busch have something more left?
That gap is seemingly getting smaller and smaller each and every lap. Kyle Busch trying to squeeze every last bit of what he has left in that 8NC Keen Auto Parts Chevrolet down the backstretch. He's trying to dig and dig hard and dig hard and dig hard, but he can't quite get to the back bumper of Derek Griffith, as we're going to have 7 laps to go this time by.
7 laps to get it done. In about that for an advantage. That is what Griffith has over Busch. But now, 5 laps, 5 car distance maybe. He's working a wheel. You can watch Kyle's hands. We can see it here in the tower. He is working that wheel, everything he's got.
Perks of having white gloves, you see every single wheel movement coming through the windshield of Kyle Busch there in that 8 machine. That lead is shrinking ever more each and every lap. We're going to have 5 phalanges in the air this time by for 5 laps to go. Kyle Busch is head down, digging like Dale in that 8 machine, trying to chip away at Derek Griffith for the race lead.
Got 3-car advantage maybe right now, taking it away from the 7 of Joey Dwyron. Dwyron's got about the same distance between Kyle Busch and him for the second and third spot. Griffith focused, hitting his marks, coming middle index. He's been here. We talked to him last time we were here in Victory Lane. He was excited. He was ready to go. And now the hook's been cast. Busch is trying to reel Griffith in.
Popsicle sticks in the air this time by Kyle Busch, wheeling that 8 machine for everything he has. He is making that gap smaller and smaller each and every single time around the 3/8 mile High Bank Raceway here at Lee USA Speedway. White flag in the air for Hudson, New Hampshire's Derek Griffith. He has 1 more lap to go. Down the backstretch, he will hit the loud pedal. 5-length advantage down through turns 3 and 4. Round of applause for Hudson, New Hampshire's Derek Griffith, who is $10,000 richer over Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch digs it in the second. Joey Dwyron in for third. Anthony Belcito in for fourth. Garrett Hall, Jimmy Renfrew Jr., Wayne Halliwell Jr., Trevor Sanborn, Kerry Cross Grande. But the victor is Derek Griffith. Dave Tibbetts will hand him the checkered flag. Put your hands together, folks. Hudson, New Hampshire, proud prospect in Derek Griffith. Let him hear you, folks. He worked for it. All right, we're going to send it down trackside to Charlie Sanborn the third.
What do you think about that, folks? $10,000 was on the line here tonight. We got 3 of the best super late model drivers in the entire country. Rounding out our top 3. We're going to bring the driver around here. The driver out of Berwick, Maine. He dominated early on, fell back a little bit. How'd that one go for you, Joey Dwyron?
I probably shouldn't have taken the top. I shouldn't have taken the top. I just got so loose into one on the restart, and I knew if I didn't have a fender on Derek to hold him down out of 2, I was going to be in trouble, and I was afraid that that was going to happen to me, and instead I almost went into 1 and spun out. So frustrating. I got to thank my entire crew, my family, Peter Pettit for giving me an opportunity to drive this car. Year didn't start off very well, but making headway here in the last 3 or 4 weeks. So get it ready and go to White Mountain tomorrow and try to improve by a couple.
There's your third place driver, Joey Dwyron, folks. And we're going to make our way up into the top 2 now. The driver who started out in the desert of Las Vegas. He's made his way to the top. He's done everything that there is to do in a race car. He now finds his way down the street from the big track. How was that at Lee USA Speedway, Kyle Busch?
Hot. It's hot. I sweat a lot anyways, but I'm smoked after that one. So, no, that was fun. Really appreciate, Lee Speedway and Keen Parts and Chevrolet and Weir's Motor Sales, Buick GMC, Fisher. It's pretty cool to just come out here, have some fun, participate in front of a great crowd. Thank you all for coming out and supporting your local short track. So, takes everybody up there to make what we do happen, So it's great to have good, strong racetracks around the country, especially up here in the Northeast. I know how cool the fans are and how much they love their racing.
So what is it that you needed for Derek Griffith there at the end of the stage of that race?
Yes. Little bit of turn, a little bit of drive. If I could have the same turn with a lot more drive, I would take that for sure. I feel like that's kind of where they were beating me all night, just a little bit. I just could not accelerate out of the turns the way I needed to, but we gave it all we had. She was smoked it there at the end. She was, tires were, everything. So just overall, first time being here, it was a really fun track. I mean, it's really technical and a lot of different things that you can kind of search around and help yourself with. So I was doing a lot of that, but nothing as good as that 12.
Well, Rowdy Nation certainly showed up in droves here tonight, and I think the question that everybody wants to hear is, we going to see you here again?
Yeah, absolutely. Invite me back. We'll figure it out. It was a great time coming up here this time around. So again, I enjoyed it, and wish we were number 1, but Derek seems to have a handle on this place.
There's your second place driver, folks, just down the street from the big track, Kyle Busch. Now moving up to victory lane, folks, the driver out of Hudson, New Hampshire. He's got Hudson Speedway on the quarter panel. He's made his way up into the top 3, but tonight all that matters is Lee USA Speedway. Here is the $10,000 man, Derek Griffith.
Woo! Man, I got to thank everybody. We had a terrible day to start the day. We had so many problems. The fuel pump broke, and I really got to thank Corey Casagrande for giving me a fuel pump. About 10 minutes before we were lining up, it broke right off the side of the motor. So I really got to thank him. The guys worked super hard. We made it better all day, and yeah, look at these people, man. It's awesome to see the crowd, and hopefully they had a good show. And yeah, it was fun starting in the back there and having some fun.
You certainly know how to get around, it seems, any racetrack and any kind of race car. Like I was saying earlier, it doesn't matter if it's a super modified or a super late model. You always seem to find your way to victory lane, but you're obviously not doing it by yourself. So who do you have to thank here tonight?
I got to thank Louie, my dad, Dolly, excuse me, Bobby, Sean, man, the list could go on and on. I got to thank my girlfriend, Reed, John, everyone, the whole gang. And we're all thinking of, this one's for Big Lou back home too. We're all rooting for him, and he's doing better and better. So this one's to him, and hopefully he's watching.
So the bigger question I think everybody wants to hear the answer to is, we're going to see you down at the bar with that big trophy later on?
Yes.
There you have it, folks. Out of Hudson, New Hampshire tonight, he is the 2023 $10,000 man, Derek Griffith. Back up to you, Randy.
Thank you, Charlie, for victory lane. Thank you, folks, for turning out. Thank you, Derek Griffith, pulling down the victory. Thank you, Kyle Busch, for coming to join us here at the New Hampshire Center of Speed. And top 3 with Joey Dwyron. It's been a great show. We've got a 50-lap street stock battle for the belt coming up next.
Oh, what you gonna do? You wanna get down? Tell me. Oh, what you gonna do? Do you wanna get down? Oh, what you gonna do? You wanna get down? Oh, what you gonna do? You wanna get down? Tell me. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. How you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. Tell me, how you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. 'Cause I heard all the people saying, get down on it. Come on and get down on it. If you really want it, get down on it. You gotta feel it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. Baby, baby. Get down on it. Get on it. Get down on it. I say people, what you gonna do? You gotta get on the groove if you want your body to move. Tell me, baby, how you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. Tell me, how you gonna do it if you really won't take a chance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. 'Cause I heard all the people saying, get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. When you're dancing, get down on it. 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 Come on and get down on it. Baby, baby. Get down on it. Get on it. Get down on it. Sha-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Oh, what you gonna do? Do you wanna get down? Oh, what you gonna do? Get your back up off the wall. Dance, come on. Get your back up off the wall. Dance, come on. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. If you really want it, get down on it. You gotta feel it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. While you're dancing, get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Oh, 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 yeah. Get down on it. You move me, baby, when you move. Get down on it. 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 Get your back up off the wall. Get down on it. 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 Get your back up off the wall. Get down on it. 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 Get down
All right, folks, here we go. Clearing victory lane. One more round of applause for Derek Griffith. Now, coming onto the track here at the New Hampshire Center of Speed will be your original wheelman, late model Battle of the Belt. 50 laps is the distance, and they're ready to go. Starting on a pole, looks like it's going to be the 83 of Hayden Grenier.
Next in line is going to be that black and white machine rolling up to his outside. I believe that's going to be the number 81. That's going to be good for the driver out of Claremont, New Hampshire, Andrew Brusso.
Brusso, victorious at the Claremont Motorsports Park. Next on the grid, your reigning late model champion in the 08, the Renfrew Motorsports for Milton Durant.
Outside row number 2, the driver out of Lebanon, Maine. That's going to be the number 79 of Patrick Tanguay.
We call him the Rocket. He is the 22 is next on the grid for Austin Erickson. Next on the grid is the, you never know what you're going to find this cat in. Out of Merrimack, New Hampshire, in the Ride More sponsored 02 for Jeff Rollins.
Inside row number 4 in the number 63 machine. That is the driver out of Manchester, New Hampshire. Round of applause for Nick Maniitis.
Next on the grid has 2 victories so far in the late models this season. One at the Claremont Motorsports Park, one at the Hudson Speedway. He is affectionately known as the Cabana Boy, Justin Beecher.
Next in line, piloting the number 37 machine. This is son of former Oxford 250 champion Larry Gelinas. He is going to be the son out of Leamington, Wade Gelinas in the 37.
Next on the grid is the 01, beautiful brand new car for Wayne Halliwell.
Next in line, I believe that's going to be the number 33 JR out of Portsmouth, New Hampshire, the 33 of William Clement Jr.
Next on the grid, that's Nashua, New Hampshire home base for Andrew Morin in the 30 car. The 33 Vermont, the WeBuyHomes.com. 33 Vermont for Matt Sunhalter.
Next in line in the number 79X out of Enfield, New Hampshire. That's going to be good for Trevor Rock. Following him in the 7 machine out of Merrimack, New Hampshire. That's going to be good for Donald Belisle.
In the 64 New Hampshire, give it up for Tori Kowalski.
And starting shotgun on the field in that black and white Camaro, the number 88. That's going to be the driver out of Tinsboro, Massachusetts. Round of applause for John Vinyl.
Johnny Rocket, they call him. We're ready to go. Field's getting this side to double up. Are you ready for the battle of the belt? Race number 1.
What should have been race number 2 is actually going to be race number 1 here tonight. Lee USA Speedway, the original Wheelman late model, battle for the belt. 2 by 2 by 2. We are going to go down the backstretch at a snail's pace. Lights are out on the pace car.
The 2 Claremont Hot Rods sitting there in the front row. Your champion, the main maniac, Austin Erickson, Jeff Rollins. Here they come, entering the restart zone. Green's going to wave from Joe Brugge.
Green flag is out, and we are racing down through turns 1 and 2. Hayden Grenier trying to hold the bottom side, but here comes the 81 machine of Anthony Brousseau on the top side.
Brousseau, second generation racer out of the Claremont area. But here's your champ in the 08, victorious already this season. Would love to wear that belt at the Monadnock Speedway when we title the Battle of the Belt winner all over our top 2.
Yellow flag in the air this time by through turns 3 and 4 on the bottom side of the racetrack there. The number 7 of, I believe, Donald Belisle was pointing in the wrong direction there. So we're going to catch our breath here for a moment, folks. Re-rack that field. I do believe we had 1 lap in the book, so we're going to see where this shakes out here. I believe the 81 of Anthony Brousseau will remain your race leader, followed by the 83G of Hayden Grenier. But I am merely an announcer, and don't take that for fact by any means. I do not work race control. I just simply work here. But that's all right, folks. Final event of the evening here, the finale on what has already been an incredible night here at Lee USA Speedway. One more time, thank you to each and every single one of you in the stands here tonight for putting on and helping create an unforgettable atmosphere on the high banks of New Hampshire. It is because of you that we get to do this stuff each and every weekend throughout our summer months in the New England area. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And Randy Wheelock, I don't want to speak for you, but what a night we have had so far.
I'll tell you what, if you wanted passion in motorsports racing, short track racing at its finest, Joe Brugge bringing in the flags together. I've had a blast, Charlie. And I hope everyone at home on Astrovision, along with the folks here in the stands, have had an awesome time because this has been top shelf.
Officially 1 lap is in the book so far, so we're going to have 49 to go as we're going to cross them up this time by. The 81 of Andrew Brousseau and Hayden Grenier will remain your front row, but keep an eye out on Milton Duran in that 08 machine just inside, I believe, the 22 of Austin Erickson. All of these drivers know how to find victory lane here in this late model division as we're going to roll them through turns 3 and 4. Green flag is out and we are racing.
Sideways Grenier, and he takes the top spot. Andrew Brousseau, Something broke in that car. Andrew Baruso hard into the turn 1 wall.
I didn't even see what happened there. I saw the 7 of Belial getting turned around there, taking the green yet again, but it looks like a tough hit there for the 81 machine of Andrew Brousseau. Track workers almost instantaneously there to the scene of the accident there to check on the well-being of that young driver there, making sure that we are in a safe environment, make sure getting cars around to the bottom side here. Again, track workers already in the window of that race driver.
Hard impact by Baruso.
And it looks as though we're going to hook up to the 81 machine. So now coming from the racetrack here, driver is okay. So round of applause for the 81 machine. Tough lick there for Andrew Brousseau, pounding the turn 1 wall. Now, Randy, for those that don't know, I have my own experience here behind the wheel for quite some time. One of the top 3 absolute hardest hits I have ever had was taking it into turn 1 there. Andrew Brousseau getting out of the car under his own fruition there, just getting the ambulance over to him to make sure that he has a nice safe ride back to the pit area. So do not be alarmed when you see those flashing red lights. Again, the driver getting out under his own power there. Just a tough lick. I assume just trying to catch his breath after one of the hardest hits of the night.
Yeah, you know, we're taught as racers, take your hand off the wheel, don't put him in there, don't leave him in there. Andrew's a second-generation competitor. His dad, Mike Baruso, a track champion at the Claremont Motorsports Park for years, a great competitor in a pro stock, and anything that he could put. We unfortunately lost Mike years ago to a medical event that took him away from us way too early. But Andrew's such an awesome young man to talk to. He and his family, that is still a family-run car. And big props to the folks at Speedway Safety. They're here tonight. They're at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. They're at all of our events. And if you've ever met the Gerard family, they're just some awesome folks who employ some really top-notch medical providers that are with us at all of our racing events. And we can't thank them enough.
Yeah, because speaking from experience, just from behind the wheel myself and knowing countless race car drivers, just through the relationships that you gain here, we're a little bit silly in the head. You're missing something, some sort of natural reaction or feeling where fear kind of gets turned off when you're going almost 100 miles an hour into these high bank corners here at Lee USA Speedway. So hats off to the safety crew that has that part of their brain still intact for us to help take care of us when we do pound the wall like that. Like I said, one of the hardest hits I've ever had in my entire career was in that almost identical same spot that Andrew Brousseau just hit as well too. And unfortunately, concrete walls are still undefeated against race cars here, folks, but at least keeps us in the ballpark here, and we're going to be able to get that 81 machine back to pit side, and we're going to be racing here in just a moment here yet again.
Gonna have some work to do on the Baruso 81 machine. Andrew's such a great competitor. He's come up through the ranks. Loves to do this. Loves the late model division and really enjoys it. He was so excited in his victory at the Claremont Motorsports Park. He said, finally, all the work, all the hard work pays off. And he says it just feels good to be here.
Well, it's one thing to compare it to what you watch on TV, right, folks? I mean, when you start watching the racing on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays on TV, that is more or less kind of fantasy land for the people who get to make it to that rank there. Those are legitimately professional race cars. They're making money at what we get to watch and enjoy on TV. Once we get back down to this level here, the feeder systems, if you will, throughout the racing series, these are very much, everyday workers throughout the means of what we call life. We've got plumbers out there, we've got construction workers, we've got roofers who have a 9-to-5 job that also have these incredible living, breathing race cars right in their own race shops that they then tend to after they go to work and spend another 40, 50, 60 hours a week tending to these race cars so that we get to come to a place like Lee USA Speedway and enjoy the fruits of their labor. Tough break there yet again for Andrew Rousseau, who seemingly was going to have a decent run there. I know only a couple laps in the book so far, but you never want to see a competitor firewall deep in the wall there.
Something had happened. Either something broke in the car or something like that, because he was side by side with Grenier, and the car just steered itself right to the wall. And again, Charlie, you know that wall's not friendly. That's not a safer barrier by any means, and it's very unforgiving. But glad to see Andrew up and moving around on his own. So he may be a little sore, but that's why the enhance about safety equipment, the helmets, the gloves, the buckles, they've got to all be in place. I know some of the competitors don't like all those things, but they're there for a reason.
Well, and that just goes right into why each and every single car you see out there has a sponsor on it of some sort, right? So these are all local businesses helping our local superstars who might not ever get a chance to race Friday, Saturday, Sunday on the big stage, and that's why they get to do it here. So if you go and see any sort of business or local proprietary place on the side of a race car, go and spend your money there. They're the ones truly fueling what we get to enjoy here at the racetrack. So hats off to all of those people helping fund getting tires, fuel, safety equipment, just like you said, Randy. We're talking about some of these things, like a Hans device called a head and neck restraint system. Literally goes over your shoulders, attaches to your helmet underneath your belt. It's $1,000 just to make sure your head doesn't fall off. So, that's why we have these sponsors in place here. So we need to help promote a lot of these companies. Also, with that, an incredible job that we have to be a part of the team of the Nashra Vision crew. Not only if you're going to sponsor a race car, do you get to have all these people see it in the stands, but you now have a global audience over on Nashra Vision to be able to promote your product or business. So certainly something to look into here. Get a hold of any one of your local race car drivers here. If you see an empty quarter panel out there, put your business on it. Help these drivers out, help fuel what we love to do here. As we're going to fire these race cars back up here. We only got one lap officially in the books. Unfortunately, we have lost Andrew Brousseau for the remainder of this event. But back up front, we have Hayden Grenier, and looks as though the 08, Milton Duran's going to be to his outside.
Erickson's right there, too, in the 22, and Tangway in the 79. And, it's just overwhelming to see. We're early on into a 50-lap race. We've had 2 cautions, one for a spin, one for an accident. But we're ready to go, and these guys and gals can get it done, and they can run green all the way. They have it in there, too. The 2 top dogs there, they are smooth. Milton Duran is easy behind the wheel. He knows how to get it done, knows when to jump when he can, and knows when to be patient when he needs to.
Another couple good drivers there. Like you said, Austin Erickson certainly knows how to find victory lane in this style or type of race car, if you will. Another one, that 63 machine, Nick Maniitis. He's kind of making a return almost to these bigger cars. I raced against him here in the what was, I guess, the limiteds or super streets, if you will, here at Oktoberfest a couple years in a row here at Lee USA Speedway. For the last handful of years, he's kind of gone back down to the mini stock division and coming back up now to the fuller size cars here in that 63. So good to see the driver there, number 63, Nick Maniitis, bringing it back here to Lee USA Speedway.
He did such a great job last season in Victory Lane. He worked a 35-lap feature event, and he worked for it, Charlie. I had the distinct honor, Andy Austin and I, he just was digging and digging and digging, and he's not afraid to do that. Lights out on the pace car. We're down the back stretch.
83.08, going to be your front row here yet again. Austin Erickson, though, from the 3rd spot, is going to try and make something happen. Keep an eye on the Manchester driver, Nick Maniitis, as the green flag is out, and we are racing.
Got a contact between the 83 and the 08 coming out of turn number 4 on the start. Grenier staying to the bottom side. Milton Duran to the top. Oh, we've got a spin. Bill Clements Jr.
We're going to wait for the yellow, potentially, as Clemens gets it moving, but the yellow is going to fly here one more time again for your original Wheelman late model division here. Battle for the belt yet again on tap here. Now, Randy, that battle for the belt, That's something pretty special. I mean, we're not talking necessarily even the top division of what you have seen here tonight, but they are absolutely chasing one of the coolest pieces of awards in all of motorsports, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, we all recognize, what the Daytona 500 trophy looks like. We all know what the Brickyard trophy looks like. We all know what the NASCAR championship trophies look like. This one is so unique in and of its own right, where these drivers, they are quite literally going after what looks like a wrestling belt. So that is something certainly that I don't know how you'd put it on a trophy case or the trophy shelf, but something I'd probably just wear around the house anyway.
There you go. Sport it around, show your friends, show your enemies, give everybody a, hey, I won this.
Exactly. I
David
mean,
Green slit.
And if you're curious as to what I'm even talking about, head on over to Facebook, look up NASTRA, NHSTRA, Battle for the Belt. It's going to be right on that page there, or right on NHSTRA.com, NASTRA, or I'm sure NASTRAvision as well, too, has some sort of connotation or picture associated with that belt. It is such a unique piece of artwork and awardage that these drivers are all chasing after here. And again, the original Wheelman late models on track right now. Milton Duran kind of inheriting the race lead, if you will. We now officially have 2 laps in the books. Milton Duran, who started in the second row, now your race leader with not a ton of laps on the tires here. Milton Duran also knows how to get around Lee USA Speedway, Randy.
He sure does. He showed it and proved it last season, 2022. Street stock, late model, now champion. Done such a great job. The Renfrews provide the car. He provides the talent. Here we go. Field giving the signal. Double up. Lights are out on the pace car. We're going to go green this time by. It is Hayden Grenier. And now on the outside of Milton Duran, Austin Erickson, Nick Maniatis, and the 02, the orange and black 02 of Jeff Rollins.
2 by 2 by 2. We're going to go here one more time down through turns 3 and 4. Chief starter with the green flag furled in hand. He's looking the field over. Green is out, and we are racing. Down through turns 1 and 2, top 2. Looking to break away, but here comes Nick Maniatis in the 63, getting squirrely on the backstretch.
Banging around. Nick Maniatis, unfortunately, was the victim. He got the squash put to him on the backstretch coming out of turn number 3. Now, Austin Erickson challenges Grenier, gets the second spot. But watch, mark my words, here comes the 02 of Jeff Rollins. Rollins, a victor in the Teddy Bear Pool. The Triple Crown event held at the Monadnock Speedway. Finished in the fog. And I mean, we could barely see him on the track.
Well, it's certainly not quite the same conditions here tonight, luckily, because we're not afraid of no stinking rain here at Lee USA Speedway. Things are calming down here up front. 5 laps in the books, 45 to go. Single file throughout the field here, side by side, a little on further back between the 33 and now the 88. But back up front, Milton Duran in that 08 Ford Mustang, just putting it to him here with 6 laps in the books.
Matt Sunhofer in the 33 Vermont. He and Johnny Rocket, Johnny Vinyl in the 88. If you want to get back into racing, Charlie, the 88's for sale. I don't know if Lindsay would let you right now, but I think we can maybe negotiate.
Well, I'm hoping she's not next to a speaker right now, but we're starting to get the itch a little bit back here for the Sanborn Racing Enterprises crew. Nate Barth has done a heck of a job here in our 23 machine over at the Oxford Plains Speedway. But maybe we'll see me back behind the wheel here pretty soon or in the coming years yet again. Taking a break here with the baby, but that's all right here as we got a battle shaping up for third. Nick Maniatis now in a sandwich trying to get up into the third spot around the 83.
Beecher in the 57, the 79 of Tangway. Geez, they just came together over here. Beecher just stayed off the wall on the front stretch. The last time by. Now, Wick turned up. Austin Erickson got Durand in his sights. Now he's going to size him up. Going to try to make him make a mistake. Durand goes through the middle. Austin Erickson is going to try to cross him over. Coming out of turn number 2. Durand, still your leader. but Erickson's got all kinds of pressure to the back bumper.
Top two right now are in their own zip code. Austin Erickson all over the back bumper. Milton Durant down the front stretch. In the mirror, he's looking. Here comes Erickson to the bottom side, feeding him a fender. Can't quite make it work. Falls back in line as Nick Maniatis now looking to the inside for third.
Maniatis is all over in that 63 to the back bumper of the 83 of Hayden Grenier. But the crafty, Grenier slips up. Maniatis almost took that as his advantage, but smart and respectful. Let Grenier catch it.
Nick Maniatis, certainly no dummy behind the wheel at all. A little bit of respect getting forward there to the 83 of Hayden Grenier. Like you said, letting him gather it back up as Maniatis sideways up off of turn number 4, trying to gain that 63 machine back underneath his rear end as he is now falling back to the front bumper of the 02 of Jeff Rollins.
Rollins is a crafty veteran. We see him compete in the late model. He also does the natural modifieds. It doesn't matter what that man gets behind the wheel. He just happens to have a dad named Brett Rollins. Now, Erickson dives to the inside. Durant gives up the top spot. Erickson is your leader.
Durant looking for the crossover there early on. Couldn't quite make it work. He is now already about 2 lengths behind Austin Erickson in that number 22 as the top two continue to be in their own little planet right now, up ahead of the rest of the field.
Austin Erickson, that kid can drive anything on 4 wheels with the tires in it, and is smart, crafty, very great competitor. Austin Erickson looking to air out the lead. He's taken about a 4-car length lead over Milton Durant in the 08. Whatever Maniatis had wrong with the 63, he was able to get the catch of the night. He should be playing for the Sox right now because he caught that car and got it straightened away.
Nick Maniatis now back going straight behind the 83 of Hayden Grenier, trying to regain and probably cool that right rear tire down just a little bit to see if he can gain any sort of grip in that 63 machine to try and get up into a trophy spot here tonight at Lee USA Speedway. 18 laps in the books, 32 to go. 50 are going to be the total amount by the end of this one. Back up front, Austin Erickson, though, just on a Friday night cruise, Randy.
He has got the cruise control switch flipped and is taking off. Got now probably a 7-car length over the 08 of Milton Durant. Now challenge back. Maniatis on the back bumper of the 83 of Hayden Grenier. Grenier works the small tight line. Really tight to the bottom, comes out through the middle. Maniatis is almost sideways.
Maniatis now trying to make a battle for something for the 3rd spot. As further on back in the field here, we got a whole gaggle of race cars between the 79 of Patrick Tangway and Wade Jelinas and the 01. I believe that's going to be good for the driver out of Litchfield, New Hampshire, William Hellowell. They are all under a blanket back there within the the latter portion of the top 10.
Will Hellowell doing a good job wheeling a new car, he said. It's going to be interesting to see what takes place. Jelinas, a long history of record. Whoa, Hellowell drives the 01 deep into turn 3. Can't make it stick, but makes contact with the 37 here on the front stretch.
Wade Jelinas, like I had mentioned earlier, he is the son of actual former Oxford 250 champion Larry Jelinas, also someone who I had the opportunity and pleasure of racing with last year throughout the Oxford 250 weekend. We actually tied for the Triple Crown Championship, Randy, where luckily in my favor the tiebreaker went to me because of wins. But Wade Jelinas, certainly a good little shoe, just seemingly missed the setup here just a little bit here tonight at Lee USA.
Yeah, something's got to ride just a little bit. We're coming to the halfway point. 25 are in the books.
Halfway down, halfway to go this time by the 7 machine. Having some troubles there. Belial going to bring it pit sign here and probably watch the rest of this one from the Black Flag Tavern or the Checker Flag Pub or whatever it's called. But back up front, though, Austin Erickson kind of just cruising, commanding this race lead right now. Milton Durant bringing along the 83 of Hayden Grenier. Everybody kind of just stuck in their own little groove right now, trying to make something happen. Everybody's in their own little world right now.
You know, we don't want to pronounce announcers jinx. Coming up on the lap traffic in the 64 is the 22 of Austin Erickson, the 08 of Milton Durant, the 83 of Hayden Grenier. Grenier having a great run. with that number 83 car.
Lap traffic may come into play here just a little bit. The 64 machine coming back to the nose of Austin Erickson, graciously getting out of the way of our race leader, Austin Erickson, now trying to just pull even farther on Milton Duran, who, like you have said, he knows how to win here at Lee. He knows how to win in this style race car. Just doesn't quite have enough to get back to the back bumper of Austin Erickson.
Yeah, now lap traffic comes into play with the 64. Tori doing a good job trying to stay out of the way of our leaders. Erickson, Duran, and now Grenier. Grenier looking to tighten that spot. Maybe he's going to challenge Duran shortly.
Yeah,
he seems to be gaining ground every lap.
Grenier seeming to find something here in that 83 machine. Maybe left a little bit on the table there for the latter stages of this race. 30 laps down, 20 to go for this 50-lap feature event for your original Wheelman late model battle for the belt race here. Up front, Austin Erickson just again on cruise control, trying to walk away with this one. Just clicking the laps off one by one over Milton Duran.
Such a great job. Austin Erickson, a great young man to talk to. Had a chance and an opportunity a couple of weeks, actually more like a month ago, to talk with him here, and he's just a great piece of work. Loves the sport, loves what he's doing, and will drive anything that has 4 wheels and a steering wheel and make it work for you.
Battle right now for fourth as we got one around up off of turn number 2, Nick Maniitis, now with a miracle of the 0-2 as the 64 of Tori Kovalevsky goes around the wrong way on the backstretch here, and that's going to make things a little bit interesting, Randy. We thought we were going to have just a plain Jane green to checkered type style event. Well, we now have 32 laps in the books, 18 to go, and folks, none of that matters. Nothing of what Austin Erickson just did and built up for a race lead, throw it in the garbage. Doesn't matter. We're going to start right over here. Austin Erickson putting on an absolute just beating on the rest of this field right now. The driver out of Ashland, Massachusetts, just putting on an absolute incredible show here so far. But Milton Duran, now he's got an opportunity to cool those tires off a little bit. He's going to see if maybe he can make that thing a little bit stickier in the corners. Maybe he can make an outside move here if Austin Erickson chooses the bottom side. See if he can get that 0-8 up around on the high side there to try and lead the end of this one.
Beecher not in the right spot or doesn't think he's in the right spot?
It sounds like it's not running right in front of us here. Potential motor troubles there for Justin Beecher in the 57. It looks like he's got it refired there.
Beecher has come off some great runs. Rumor has it in the mill that he just purchased another late model.
Ooh, scandalous.
You never know with Mr. Cabana Boy what could be happening.
Now, one thing I do want to point out here, too, folks, you've probably seen it throughout the entirety of the race evening. A lot of these drivers swerving back and forth to try and clean these tires up, maybe get them hot and sticky. But these original Wheelman late models, they're on a little bit harder compound than what you typically see throughout the, say, the Pro Stocks or the Super Late models. So it's good to see these drivers up front. They're just going straight as an arrow. They're letting those tires cool off here just a little bit. Because if you get those hard tires too hot, they just get greasy and you start sliding around. So they're going to cool those back off here just a little bit. You'll probably see them scuff them up once we go green or cross them up to go green here. So just some tricks of the trade that I might point out to you here. Up front, Austin Erickson, Milton Duran knowing what to do up front.
They sure do. Both of these guys have been great competitors for a long time. Hayden Grenier, former mini stock champion at the Claremont Motorsports Park, has stepped up into this late model division. They've had some difficult runs from time to time. As you can see, he pointed out, do you see how scuffed up my car is? He says, I've run 4 races. This is not good. But they're great folks, great competitors. I love talking to the young man. He is just a great young driver.
Well, the perks of this original Wheelman late model division, formerly known as Street Stocks, also known as that throughout a better portion of the country here. They're not known for not being aggressive, if that makes sense. Certainly no lack of aggression here throughout this type of style discipline race car for sure. So having some wheel marks on it, only a handful of shows underneath the belt, that doesn't shock me one bit as we're going to cross them up here this one time as we got 18 laps to go, Randy.
Let's see if we can get them done. Here we go. Erickson, Duran, Grenier, Maniatis. The Cabana Boy on the outside, Jeff Rollins on the inside in the 0-2. These guys are looking to rock each other's world for sure. This is not what Erickson wanted to see for sure. Now, Duran, who is great about getting around here at the New Hampshire Center of Speed, they're going to be shown green. Here they go. Chief Starter Joe Breggy says, let's go. Duran jumps on the outside. And now Erickson battle here. And Erickson are door handle to door handle. Manias and Grenier, same deal for the third spot.
Austin Erickson trying to make the bottom side work there to get the race lead, trying to bring along Hayden Grenier along with him. Milton Durant says, no, thank you, sir. Files it back down to the bottom, single wide for the top three.
Grenier slides just a little bit, giving room for Manias. Now, Jeff Rollins goes to the inside of Grenier in the 0-2. Grenier trying to pinch him down. The crafty veteran of Jeff Rollins, hands up on the wheel. Now Duran looks to challenge to the inside of Erickson. They come into turns 3 and 4. Grenier, high, wide, and sideways.
Milton Duran looking for the boot scoot and boogie there up off of turn number 3, getting a rear bumper full of Austin Erickson. Here comes Nick Maniitis though in the 0-2 machine of Jeff Rollins, top 4 under a blanket down through turns 3 and 4.
Maniitis doing a great job holding on. These guys are bumper to bumper, tail to tail. Now Rollins looks to the inside of Maniitis. Oh, contact between the two of them as they exit turn number 2.
Things calming down here just a little bit. 36 laps down, 14 to go. Down through turns 3 and 4. Nick Maniitis now with a handful of Jeff Rollins to his inside. Under attack for the third spot. Maniitis trying to go high, wide, and handsome down the backstretch.
And no stranger to get it done. He sent it just as hard as he could in 1 and 2. Jeff Rollins into the third spot.
Jeff Rollins now up into the top 3, but he wants more. Coming down to the back bumper of Milton Duran through turns 1 and 2. That orange machine has woken up here in the later stage of this of this race. 12 laps ago as we got one around the backstretch. Patrick Tangway facing the wrong way up off of turn number 2.
No caution as of yet. Leaders coming through 1 and 2. Trying to see if Tangway can refire. He's out of the racing surface area.
At this point, he is now a lap down as we are going to have 10 fingers in the air for 10 laps to go. This time by Austin Erickson, Milton Duran, and Jeff Rollins under a blanket under the flag stand. Yellow flag is out.
Gotta love Joe Breggy's 10 fingers wave. We are at lap 39. 39.50 is the distance.
Now, folks, I want to take a poll here. We got 39 laps down and 11 to go. I want to hear a yes or a no. Is this the last caution of the night? That's kind of what I figured too. That was a hard no. These aggressive street stock drivers are going to be duking it out here with 11 laps to go here for the Battle of the Belt presented by Original Wheelman Late Models. Austin Erickson, who in the early stages of this one kind of was starting to walk away with it, Randy. He had Milton Duran kind of just floundering around about a half straightaway back. We got that late race yellow there a handful of laps ago. And I pointed out to you guys, they cooled their tires off. Once they went back green, they were much, much more equal. So now with 11 laps to go, you've got a handful of hungry race car drivers. Austin Erickson, Milton Duran, Jeff Rollins, Nick Maniitis in the 0-1 of Bill Helliwell. These are 5 very aggressive race car drivers who all are no strangers to victory lane. They want the belt. They want to get the win here on night number 1 for the Battle of the Belt. So we've unanimously figured that there's probably going to be another yellow here tonight. So keep an eye out on that as we're going to cross them up this time by Austin Erickson, Milton Duran. Going to cross them up here for the front row as Justin Beecher having trouble out back, Randy.
He's still having trouble. The 57 just is not the car it normally is. He's taking it pit side. All right. Pace car lights are out. Erickson, Duran, Jeff Rollins now in the mix. And Bill Helliwell in the 0-1. Bill's been just methodically coming up through the track. Here we go. Ready to rumble one more time. They hit the zone. The green flag flies.
We are racing down through turns 1 and 2. Austin Erickson, Milton Duran. They're going to wave this one off as the 88 with a hard hit up off of turn number 4 here, taking the green. We got another one here. The number, I believe, 79. I can't see
Trevor
too much
Rock.
of it. Trevor Rock with a hard hit there. Please step away from the fence, folks. I don't care if you have a camera or not. Let's just back up here a little bit. Make sure that the safety crew can get there and get their job done. As we got water now on the racetrack there. That's going to be really hot water, too. If that sprays on you, you're going to have a bad day, I promise. So let's let the track safety workers there get to the driver. Which looks as though he's going to get out under his own power. Trevor Rock. Round of applause for the driver out of Enfield, New Hampshire with a tough lick there up off of turn number 4. Again, folks, that just goes to show you. I mean, we had a good stretch of green flag racing there, but this whole motorsports deal is no joke in any way whatsoever. There's always that possibility that something comes out and gets you just like that. And that concrete wall sometimes is the boogeyman, Randy, and you never want to mess with it.
Yeah, tough break for John Vinyl. He's such a great young man to talk to. His dad and I met at the Hudson International Speedway on their opening day. He said, you know what? When I was racing, I had the most second place finishes to the traveling man in Pete Fiandaca.
Yeah, that's a tough stat to have. But it also shows, that that's an impressive stat for sure. Top 2 is certainly nothing to sneeze at, but nobody showing up here to finish second, unfortunately. In the entire world of motorsports, I don't care how long you've done it or who you are or what your name is, you have lost far more races than you have ever won. So it is an incredible thing to look out for those drivers that do have really high win stats, as looks as though the 88 driver getting out under his own power. Round of applause for that driver there, the 88T out of Tingsboro, John Vinyl, getting out of there under his own power there, probably just taking a second there to catch his breath. Looks as though it might not be for sale anymore unless you want to buy it as is, but tough break for the 88 car.
Or for a discount.
Well, yeah.
Bring your front
That's
clip.
tough.
Yeah,
That's
bring your
tough.
front clip with you. And,
Yeah. Bring a jig and a front clip, and that could be yours.
Right.
Unfortunately, a tough break there for the 88 machine and the 79. Kind of running out back already to begin with, and already just kind of an extra kick to the rear end when that does happen to you at the later stages of the race. Again, 11 laps to go here, folks. Austin Erickson back up front. Milton Duran, Jeff Rollins. Now, this is almost a complete reset, folks. We're now shut the cars down here under red flag conditions. We're going to get everything cooled right back down. We're going to get these tires back closer to ambient air temperatures. We're going to get all of our fluids down to closer to that temperature as well, too. And we're going to have an 11-lap dogfight, Randy, for this first race for the Battle of the Belt for the original Wheelman late models.
For sure. The Battle of the Belt always brings out the top stars in the late model division. David Greenslit in the 20, former New Hampshire multi-time national champion, is the current holder of that belt. And David Greenslit, I'm surprised he's not here tonight. So maybe they had other plans. Maybe they're up at the Magic Mile.
Maybe they're up down the street at the big track, as I know a lot of you folks are doing the double this weekend, so we appreciate you guys setting up camp down the road and then coming here to enjoy this beautiful Friday evening with us. Shout out to the racetrack here. We just had 2 completely destroyed race cars here that are already off and in the pit area to move this show along. So round of applause for the track workers here getting that stuff settled here. But Randy, if I I'm getting old. I know I'm 30 now and I got a gray beard going on. But there's some water up off of turn number 4 there on the high groove. And that's certainly going to be something to look out for here, especially if I'm Milton Duran and I know that I'm going to have to start to the outside of Austin Erickson. That's something that I'm going to want to know that information if I can have that in any way. Whether it's the water or they put some speedy dry down, that is something that's going to play into a factor here on this restart with 11 laps to go.
It sure is. That's the hot spot coming out of turn number 4. It's where the groove locks in. You can drive the car in hard from there and then really make it rocket down here in the front stretch. And it doesn't take a lot of wetness to turn. As you said, these tires be like driving on ice if they hit that.
Well,
corner.
like I said, these tires are a little bit harder compound than what we've seen throughout the rest of the evening here. So with that, in conjunction with an incredibly abrasive cheese grater type racetrack like we have here at Lee USA Speedway, with some water on it, that's gonna be something to look out for here for Milton Durand on the outside here. Maybe he's gonna pinch down Erickson coming up off the corner there. That restart box is relatively small, if you will. If you were wondering, folks, but the restart area right up off of turn number 4 there is between the white and yellow lines that go completely horizontal across the racetrack there. The leader does set the pace. So if I am Austin Erickson and I know that Milton Durand is my outside and he's got some potential to get up into the wet stuff, I might run him high a little bit. I might put his right side tires in that water, knowing that there's only a handful of laps left here. And, you know, I want that belt, Randy. I want that. So all these drivers know that in the back of their mind. Just because these are the late models doesn't mean that these drivers are any sort of joke behind the wheel. They know each and every facet of this entire racetrack here. So, again, Austin Erickson maybe going to come around here, turn number 4, see that water up on the top side there, and play that into factor here when they come green.
Makes a little scratch of the chin, says, maybe I come middle in out of turn number 3. I walk him up the wall a little bit or towards that well. See if I could just get enough, like you said, to get the tires just a little.
Yeah, we're not talking.
Take off.
We're not talking wrecking somebody. We're not talking
not
junking race cars. But if there is that slight advantage, there's something to work in your favor. Now, transverse to that, if I'm Milton Durand and I'm seeing this, track positioning layout and what's going on up off of turn number 4 there, I might, pinch the 22 down a little bit. And if I can pinch the 22 down a little bit when he gets in the throttle, maybe he spins the tires and I can get the jump on the outside. So a lot of head games going to be going into play here for our top 2. Again, 11 laps left on tap here to round out our incredible evening that we've had so far. 39 laps have clicked off so far. Again, Austin Erickson has dominated this one so far. But we've now been under red flag conditions. We've cooled these cars down. We have an 11-lap heat race, Randy, for a title belt race here. So it's going to be an interesting one here. We're going to get some heat back in the racetrack here and see what happens.
The next one will be held at the Claremont Motorsports Park later in July. It will be the Battle of the Belt on the 28th, which is the next race at the Claremont Motorsports Park. And then it'll conclude August the 12th, where the champion will take their possession of that belt and bring it to Monadnock Speedway. Double up, says Joe Breggy. Let's see, 11-lap shootout. This is the excitement builder of the night. Lights out on the pace car. Austin Erickson, Milton Durand, Jeff Rollins, Nick Manias, all ready to go. Watch the strategy play out. Here comes Erickson. He's doing exactly.
Erickson pushes him up a little bit. Durand almost into the wall down the front stretch here, side by side. Durand still hanging tough on the quarter panel, but Erickson now with the advantage up off of turn number 2 here. We're going to have 10 laps to go this time by.
Austin Erickson, he did the strategy that you talked about. Tried to pitch him up as high as he could. He and Milton.
Whoa! Durand trying to fill a hole that quite frankly wasn't there. Here comes Jeff Rollins from 3rd to the lead in one shot down the backstretch.
Jeff Rollins. The two were duking it out between Durand and Erickson. He was the opportunist, looking to close the deal. Jeff Rollins is your leader on lap 41.
Jeff Rollins now trying to boot, scoot, and boogie in front of Austin Erickson here. He wants to run away from the driver who has dominated this one so far. He's got a 5-length advantage up off of 4 as now Erickson is under attack from Nick Manias.
Contact between the 63 and the 22. We've got boot scooting is right. He just about putted. Oh, and Erickson gives Manias some of what he was given. And takes the second spot. Oh, heavy contact here on the front stretch.
Nick Manias trying to go for an eye here as he hooks Austin Erickson. He goes around, yellow flag is out.
Woo!
All right, who said that was going to be the last yellow a couple times ago? Because you were wrong. Nick Manias seemingly going to get parked here from track officials as back up front. Austin Erickson going for a ride in the second spot there off the front bumper of Nick Maniatis. But right now, Jeff Rollins is like, happy birthday to me. I went from third to first in a corner there. He only had a 7-lap shootout there to try and bring home the first race here for the Battle of the Belt, and he now is in the catbird seat, going to have full control of this restart from the inside.
He's the ever opportunist. He always has good equipment, saves the equipment, knows where he needs to be, and now is your race leader with 7 to go.
Tough break for Austin Erickson there, who was at one point in this race looked like he was going to just absolutely walk away with this one with a half-track lead. He gets caught up in some altercation there with Nick Maniatis down through turns 1 and 2. He is now relegated to the tail end of the field here with a pretty beaten and battered number 22 machine, with now Milton Duran, who is really for a long time going to be his only competitor in this race, now is kind of in his own little world in second there around some cars. He hasn't really raced yet so far. Jeff Rollins, kind of inheriting that race lead after that initial contact between those race leaders, now has full control over this restart, folks. 7 laps to go. Jeff Rollins on the inside. Maybe he gives Milton Duran that kind of shuffle up like Erickson did earlier on.
And it's interesting to see. Here's Hayden Grenier in the 83. Had fallen off a little bit. He's come back. And Andrew Morin in the 30. Still just methodically working their way to the front. They've stayed out of trouble. They've stayed clear. They've stayed clean. And Rollins used the battle going on between Erickson and Nick Maniatis. And he's the victor going looking for the double checkers tonight. Austin Erickson at the back. Does he get rejoined by Maniatis? He may have cut a tire down during the debris that's on the left quarter that he hooked of Austin Erickson. Gonna need to do some body work on that. Newcomb's Tree Service sponsored 22. Jeff Rollins is our leader. Milton Duran, Hayden Grenier, Fields doubled up, coming down to the stripe. We'll be going green next time by. Again, on behalf of the Lee USA Speedway, the New Hampshire Center of Speed, thank you all for joining us here tonight. Really appreciate the crowd turnout and those of you watching at home on NastraVision.com. Pace car lights are out. Rollins and Duran. Andrew Morin on that outside of Grenier. It's anyone's call. Rollins will set the pace. They'll walk gently into the restart zone. Rollins takes the jump.
Jeff Rollins from the pole of the point down through turns 1 and 2, bringing Milton Duran along the backside of him. 7 laps to go here in the original Wheelman late model battle for the belt, race number 1 on the 2023 season. Coming up off of turn number 4, you're ever the opportunist, Jeff Rollins now trying to lead the end of this one.
And the battle ensues between Grenier and Andrew Morin. The 83 on the inside and Andrew Morin in the 30 on the outside. Have both had great runs this season. Would be dynamite to see either one of them in the podium spot. Morin looks to have the advantage going into turns 1 and 2 and will take the podium spot.
5 laps to go that last time by here. Track officials getting ready to throw the 2 to go here in just a few moments. 17 seconds is about what a lap takes to get around this place. So if you think about it, in just under 1 minute, Jeff Rollins can bring home the first Battle of the Belt win here in the 2023 season. Just a few moments ago, he was in the top 3, the outside of the top 3, before the race leaders got into it in turns 1 and 2. He capitalized. He had a car that might not have been a race-winning car, but he put himself in position to win this race. Coming up off of turn number 4, this time by, popsicle sticks in the air, 2 to go, this time by for Jeff Rollins.
2 to go, Jeff Rollins walking it out, taking that 0-2, ready to hit victory lane. Hits his marks coming through 1 and 2, down the backstretch with Milton Duran in tow. Andrew Morin, Hayden Grenier,
White flag in the air for the final time tonight. We've already seen somebody win $10,000. We're now seeing somebody try to navigate their way to winning a championship belt at the end of the year. Jeff Rollins, ever the opportunist, now leads Milton Duran up off of turn number 4, and for the final time tonight, black and white squares in the air. Jeff Rollins is your original Wheelman late model winner.
Original Wheelman, thank you, Kevin Brown. Milton Duran in for second. Andrew Morin, Hayden Grenier, a great run for him tonight. Got a little bit of a monkey off their back. Doing such a great job. Oh, conversation maybe that Austin Erickson wants to have with Jeff Rollins. Again, folks, if you're making your way out of the Speedway, we thank you for coming and joining us. Please have a safe weekend. It's the beginning. If you're going to New Hampshire Motor Speedway, we wish you great action there as well. And come and join us at any of the other NASTRA tracks. Monadnock Speedway, the Claremont Motorsports Park, down the street at the Hudson International Speedway. And thank you for coming to see us at the New Hampshire Center of Speed. We're going to send it trackside to Charlie Sanborn III.
Thank you, Mr. Randy Wheelock. We now, folks, have concluded the evening. How about that one for your original Wheelman late models? If you want to come around the other side of the car here, we have our third place driver here. That was a pretty rough one, man. Andrew Morin, how was that for you?
Oh, it was awesome. I'm so freaking hot right now. I don't even. Got to thank my mom, my dad, my wife, my son, SL Dion Landscaping, FF Performance. I already Frank from everyone. Sorry. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I'm freaking baked right now.
No worries, man. It was a hot one here tonight. You obviously didn't do it by yourself, like you mentioned a lot there. But what did you need to get up into the top 2 there, and who else do you have to thank?
My dad, everyone that helps out in the car, and a GM legal crate motor.
Well, there you have it, folks. Your third place driver, Andrew Morin, as we're going to get up into our top 2 now. The driver of the number 08, the Renfrew Motorsports prepared machine. That was a rough one, man. Milton Duran, your second place finisher. How was that for you?
It was a good run. I mean, definitely got rough there, but that's racing. You know, it's fun. This competition's getting really close in time, and everybody's really good. So I'll take a second, especially to Jeff. He's really good. He knows his stuff. I'd just like to thank R&R Public Wholesalers, R&R Race Parts, Renfrew Motorsports. I can't thank Jim and Melissa enough for letting me drive the car, and just everybody that helps out.
Now, yeah, there was a portion of the race there where it seemed like you might have been able to walk away with it. You were kind of duking it out there with Austin Erickson for a little bit. What did you need to get around Jeff Rollins there at the end?
I think the car was just over-rotating the center, so it was just hurting it. And then I let Austin go there at the beginning. I was just trying to save my stuff, and I thought he'd come back to me, and he didn't. He was good, too, but we'll take a second.
There it is, folks, your second-place driver, Milton Duran. Now we're going to go up to our race leader, the final one of the evening, folks, and what a night we have had here so far. We've seen people win $10,000 here tonight. We have now seen somebody win the first Battle of the Belt race for 2023. Ever the opportunist you are in that one. Jeff Rollins, how was that for you?
Yeah, I saw everyone go take off there right in the beginning. I said, you guys have fun. I'll see you in about lap 35. So when we got that late yellow, I knew it was time to go. But I got to thank everyone. We had to work our tails off since we got here today. I wasn't really happy after the first practice, but everything my father does, Jeff, Jason, my son, Lizzie, my fiance, Ashley, and my kids, and Chase. And definitely got to thank LCM for doing this motor for us. It's awesome. Got to thank Klotz, Daytona 1, and Sloth Racing.
Now, for a while there, you were kind of floating around top 3, top 5. Going into turn 1 there, when you saw the leaders wrecking each other, what were you thinking, and who else do you have to thank here tonight?
I was hoping they both didn't go around there because I kind of stuck it in there where I kind of shouldn't have been. But, yeah, I definitely got to thank JSK and Petrie Auto Service for everything. Petrie Tree Service, sorry. So, yeah, it's good to get back here. This is our third win, the third time out with this car.
Well, there you have it, folks. Your ever opportunist number 0, the original Wheelman late model winner, first race for 2023 Battle of the Belt. Your race winner, Jeff Rollins. Back up to you, Randy.
Thank you, Charlie Sanborn. Folks, stay tuned. If you're staying in the stands, fireworks are up next. See him shortly.
Now, one more thing here, too, folks. Each and every one of you who bought a 50-50 ticket, we're going to have our race winner here pull the winner. So, Jeff, do you know how much money we have on tap here?
It's over $800.
Over $800 going to the winner here. Our original Wheelman late model winner, Jeff Rollins, picking out. Now, this is a red ticket. Red ticket for the 50-50. $800 going to the winner, who has the other half of 200-9095. Red ticket, 200-9095. Over $800 going over to you. And back up to you now, Randy Wheelock.